Hi, and welcome to Cooking with Kari, or whatever title we've given this stream. Holiday Cooking with Kari, who knows? I am going to make some holiday treats since we're going into the season. And we are going to do 4 different things. We're going to do some candied pecans. We're going to do some chocolate ganache swirled marshmallows. We are going to do some melomakarona, which is a Greek Christmas cookie. And then we are going to do some ginger cardamom biscotti that are dipped in white chocolate. I got a little antsy because I finished getting ready about 30 minutes before stream, so I decided I was going to start making something for a cocktail. So added bonus, we're going to also have a ginger and cranberry French 75. So I just made behind me, I did a cup of sugar, a cup of water, essentially like 8-ounce bag of cranberries, and then I actually pre-grate like all of my ginger in bulk. So it's probably about like a nub of ginger, maybe about the size of your thumb. And if you peel it off and then slice it and toss it in, and once the sugar and the water dissolve to make your simple syrup, go ahead and add your cranberries and your ginger in. You can turn that up until it starts boiling. All the cranberries are going to start popping. It's going to sound delicious. And then I did add the zest of a lemon in as well. And so I'm going to strain that out, and then I'm going to make a cocktail before I even get started cooking. Or maybe I can have Lep make the cocktail. We'll see. I don't know. He can do some of it. We'll find out how good he is at following instructions. I think he'll probably be okay. Why is this camera so much better than the other one? I don't know. What do you mean? Is it better? They're about the, yeah. This camera is actually older than the other one by like 4 years, maybe more than that. Because the streamer isn't on it. Oh no. I have to redo it because Lep hit me with some Windows noises? Okay. I did. Okay. Okay, cool. Well, do you feel like you can start doing stuff so that I can start doing stuff? Or is that... Yeah. You want to go do that while I'll make the cocktail while you set up the second camera, and then we can start cooking right after that.
Did we switch game directories?
I don't know. Did mods, can someone change the directory? Please. Please and thank you. Nope. Still Destiny 2. Okay. Nine. Are we good? Somebody asked earlier to explain my shirt.
We have happy accidents.
This is probably one of my favorite shirts, which, there we go, now we can all read it. It says, it's mimosa, not mimosa. Because, like, how great is that? I saw it on, like, a Facebook ad and was like, yes, please. And I think I bought mine off Amazon, but if you would rather get it from not Amazon, I'm pretty sure you can probably find them on Etsy and send money like directly to somebody, though I don't know what the cut is between the two platforms for Amazon or Etsy, and like who gets, you know, whatever the person gets, like what the cut is. So 1 point for Hufflepuff. It's such a good shirt. It's such a good shirt. Like, how can you not? Like, how? And I'm about to have. Am I about to? It's a French 75, but we can call it a mimosa, right? It's the syrup, and it's some sparkling wine. We can do it. Okay, this is done. So I'm gonna go ahead and be terrified about how I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this into a bowl and then pour from the bowl. Because otherwise, I will make a huge mess. Because I'm prone to that. Woo!
We don't need this corner.
Not yet. This is from this morning. Okay. So, I know you guys can't really see that. But I've got some syrup in here. This is a very tiny strainer, which is why I moved to the bowl, because I knew that it was going to be very messy, and I'm gonna have to do like a lot of trash runs here. Okay, so basically what I'm doing, you can hear it. Kind of sounds like it's peeing. Sorry. Sorry for that nasty ASMR. So I'm just gonna strain this syrup out and let it cool a little bit. You're gonna see a lot of stovetop cooking for like the first section of this stream. Look at those casts. Random, but I like the backsplash. Well, Lep picked out the backsplash. So you can say thank you to him for that one if you like it. The calves are blinding you. He's got pretty solid calves, guys. Just saying. I know you don't think so, but it's true.
Checks in the mail.
He says checks in the mail. You know, you gotta hype the husband every now and then. Right? Especially if it's true. Ooh, second check. Okay. So this is pretty thin right now, which is kind of what I was going for. There's a lot of pectin in cranberries. So like if you were gonna make, like I make a cranberry sauce for Thanksgiving. And if you cook at too high of a heat for too long, it sets and it'll kind of gelatinize. Which, I mean, hey, I'm contemplating making my cranberry sauce like in like two kind of batches and like a two-step method this year, and making like the sauce that I like. And then like my mom says every year how much she's sad that she doesn't have like the canned cranberry sauce. So I contemplated like cleaning out a can and adding some gelatin to my cranberry syrup that's like still cooking, like save some to the side for myself and then put some gelatin or like really cook the stuff that's on the remainder and then pour it into the can and let it kind of like take the shape of the can so that she can have her like cranberry slices, God forbid. But so like I'm contemplating that this year. But basically, yeah, like if you wanted to have a syrup that's meant for cocktails, like once everything starts popping, the cranberries, and the liquid starts turning like a nice bright red, like you want to bring it down to like a simmer. Don't do anything crazy. Don't go too high, because like it's gonna end up setting, and then you're really not gonna have a syrup. Now, I guess it's also gonna depend on whatever recipe you have, how much water's in that recipe. But there's a lot of pectin in cranberries and blueberries. I'm using my smallest strainer because I want because I grate you're not gonna need to do this. You can just use like a regular strainer if you make this. I'm using a really small one because I grate my ginger fresh in bulk. And so I had to throw grated ginger into this, which is super small. And so if I had used like a bigger strainer, then we would have had ginger floating around in this syrup, and I don't want that. So the microwave is massive. It's what came in the bundle. I got a dishwasher and a microwave at the same time, and that was what it was. I don't know. Are you okay, hon? I don't know what's going on. Okay, so this is the last of syrup. Oh man, I'm super excited. Super excited. The problem is that it's kind of hot, so I'm gonna have to stick it in the refrigerator before we can actually use it. What? What now? What's going on? I'm gonna have him clean this for me. Yay! No cleaning for me.
What?
Actually, I need that pot. I might have to clean it because I need that pot. Okay, so my syrup is done. I'm going to toss this into the refrigerator. Let's do with that spoon. I'm going to toss it into the refrigerator and let it cool. I want to taste it. Taste everything. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Maggie.
Oh, man. That's delicious.
Walk ham is so laggy.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna actually start like cooking to bake. So let's do that. The first things that I need to do today, we need to do a honey syrup for the melomakarona, and then we need to do a chocolate ganache. Both of those need to cool before they can get mixed into the marshmallows. And then I'm gonna have the cookies. They come straight out of the oven and they have to be put into cold syrup or they start to kind of break apart. So both of those need to be done first and foremost, and then we can move on to a couple of other things. So I guess, can you get that like over the stovetop so that I can? Okay, cool. Is there a LEP dishwashing cam too? There should be, honestly. It's one of the most important parts of this stuff.
Where's the cocktail?
The syrup is chilling in the refrigerator, and then the cocktail can be made as soon as that's cold enough to put into it without like melting everything.
We have to zoom out so we can see my head.
Yes.
Dang it.
Oh God. Hi. Thank you for putting in the command. It is a lemon Kirkland brand. It's actually the last one in the pack. I'm very sad. I might need to open up another one. There apparently is like a soda stream, what is it called? When it's, I can't get it anywhere.
Skin.
Soda.
Package.
No, so like I went to go get a soda stream thing and they didn't have any, and they don't have any in Tallahassee. And they don't have any in Tallahassee.
Canisters.
No, what is it called? Like the act of not being able to get something because it's
Shortage.
scarce. Thank you, shortage. My goodness, we did it! Yay! There's a shortage of SodaStream canisters, so I went to get one, and they were like, we sold the last one this morning. There's not a single one, and we don't know when we're gonna get them back. So I'm trying to not use my SodaStream. So I'm going through way more of the sparkling water than I typically do.
Give you left to say word.
Lep is 6'2", I am 5'3". Yes, there is a difference in height.
You know what? I think it's time for text on the screen.
That would be pretty funny, actually. That'd be really good. Okay.
Chef,
okay.
what am I doing?
Am I good? I'm good here.
Yes.
Okay. Can
delayed.
you clean those?
Oh my God! It's a.
That's okay. I don't care.
So laggy.
I don't care. I mean, I'm gonna be whisking over. It's not like it matters. It doesn't matter, right?
I know, it's fine.
It doesn't
It's
matter.
just
I'm
funny.
not doing it. They can still hear me correctly, so it doesn't matter. Okay. I'm gonna need some chocolate. Okay, so for the chocolate ganache,
Oh, are you here?
I heard
Okay.
2 resubs come through.
Okay, cool.
I'm going to make some chocolate ganache. I need 8 ounces of chocolate and a teaspoon of instant espresso, and I need a half a cup of heavy cream. Pardon me. I'll start with the ganache, but I need to make the honey in that next. So in the next 5 to 10 minutes, it needs to be cleaned. Heavy cream. And then if you want to squeeze some lemons.
First?
No, after. After is fine.
The pot first?
Yeah, I just need that cleaned. And the whisk. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna open this sucker up. Lep is sous chef today. He is. If you're ever doing a ganache, just follow the rules of like 2-to-1 chocolate to cream. And you're good to go. That's basically all it is. I have these guys. I think this is Cuisinart. I'm sure they have them for like KitchenAid and All Clad and all that other stuff. This is my double broiler. Or my double boiler. If I put this down, it would fall over. Oh, that was loud. That was super loud. Because it does not have a flat bottom. It basically nests into this guy. And then water goes in here. And the chocolate will melt in this. I'm actually going to do about 1 inch of water on the bottom of the pot. And we'll start getting that heated. And then I will actually melt chocolate 2 ways today. I would use the double boiler twice, but the dipping of the biscotti needs to happen in like a flat container. It's really hard to do it in this since it's so round, and it's like, it just doesn't work. And I don't feel like heating it and then pouring it into a container and then it chilling in that container, and I can't, like, I'll just toss it in the microwave. So if you don't have this set up, or if you don't have like a Pyrex bowl that can sit over a pot, like just anything that kind of has that like natural curvature of a bowl that you can nest into a pot and you can make your own. It doesn't have to be like fancy smancy or anything like that. You can do, or like even like I have a melamine bowl, like you can use any of that kind of stuff to make one yourself, or we can just microwave it. And I'll show you guys how to do that too. I prefer induction. I'm kind of terrified of open flame. I'm not gonna lie. Like lighting the stuff that goes out. Huh?
The igniting.
Yeah, like, well, no, I mean, like, honestly, just having, like, open, like, I know there are people who are like, you know, oh, no, like, open flame is the best, most natural way to cook, yada, 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 and all that kind of stuff. But I'm scared of lighting it. I'm scared of having open flames available for my kids to reach their fingers out. I don't think, like, low is not low. Low is, hey, fire's underneath this. And so I just don't, like, I can be so much more precise in the lower temperatures with induction than I can with like a gas burner. So I personally like induction better. And like I can even do like half steps. So like if I wanted to do like, you know, I have like 1, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5, like, and it goes like, I can do like half step increments. Which I just like, I love how precise it is. And then like, if anything boils over or gets too hot, the second I turn it off, there's no more friction and it's not hot anymore. Like if something like we've had where like if something boils over, I can just move it off, turn it off, wipe the whole thing down and put it back on. Like wipe the whole like surface off, put it back down, and like I'm not burning myself trying to like get to it. Like I don't have to worry about it. So like I really appreciate the safety. I really appreciate how the ease and the preciseness that I can get from induction. Yeah. Every time I hear Lep talk in the background, I expect him to say, "Who said that?"
Who said that?
All right, we're gonna do. So I've got 2 bars of chocolate, 2 4-ounce bars of chocolate in there, and I am about to add a teaspoon.
Would you say a teaspoon is a little spoon?
I would say it's a little spoon. It's about 5 milliliters, which is a liquid. So I guess I don't know what it is in grams, like 2, of some espresso powder. Now this espresso powder is like, you're not gonna taste it. It's just gonna make the chocolate taste more like chocolate. It's gonna make it taste even more chocolatey.
Make chocolate taste like more chocolate.
I know. Just one of those things. And then I'm gonna need a 1/2 cup of heavy cream, which I'm going to pour into a bigger cup because I have no idea where my 1/2 cup went. Oh, I just did something I wasn't supposed to do. Oops, my B. Look at that, now I get to use 3. Oh, actually, that's fine. That was a 1/4 cup. Fun. I stopped at the precise moment that I should have.
It's like Die Hard.
I know.
Where they're like, 3 gallons, 5 gallons.
He needs 4 gallons. What do we do?
Before the 3-gallon.
I remember walking through that with you. That was really funny, actually. Okay. Spatula. You can use a whisk. That's fine, too. I'm just going to use a spatula. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm in the way, aren't I? There we go. I'm just going to let this chocolate melt down. And then once it's almost completely melted, I don't want it to get hot, thus the double boiler. I don't want it to like seize or any of that kind of stuff. I want it to stay glossy. I want it to stay nice and kind of like melty. And so I'm going to mix it. And once it's almost completely melted, I'm going to go ahead and add in the heavy cream. And this is almost there already.
Critical error. Thanks to 7 months of hard-earned money. Couldn't live without my left flirt.
I feel like at this point I should be like, it wasn't good? Oh no.
Mistakes.
Okay, so that's essentially done. See, basically done.
Hammer with a pen, making the chocolate taste more like chocolate.
And we're gonna pour in our milk. Or cream, sorry, heavy cream. And then we're gonna mix that sucker around a little bit. Whee! I bet you this would make like really good hot chocolate. Okay. That is already done. So I'm going to pour this into a separate bowl. And then I'm going to let it cool in the refrigerator, just like everything else. Okay. But I feel like I need to.
You said this one.
Yeah, I need 2 ounces of lemon, so 60 milliliters, if that's helpful to you.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Simple Tony with the 6 months. Pizza time, and my pizza, it's 6 slices, so 6-month Risa. Your pizza is 6 slices?
Mistakes.
Yeah.
We have happy accidents.
We're gonna pour. No. I still have to make the honey syrup. Whee!
Beautiful.
I'm gonna pour this sucker in. Be nice and shiny. So this will thicken and cool in the refrigerator, and then I am going to take this ganache and I'm going to essentially pour it into in increments into the marshmallows that we're gonna make, and then just fold it around and marbleize it.
There's nothing wrong with trying to secure
gently. And then that's gonna set, and it's gonna be delicious.
My king of 1,000 bits.
Whoa.
These bits are sticky for Kari. Rug base with 100.
No.
Terminator with 100. Chocolate. And bean gift one to save.
Here, I'll do this. So this is what it looks like.
Save some for me, LOL. No, go me. Save months of primers.
Here we go. I don't know if you can even see, but that's what it looks like. I don't know how much definition is in that camera.
Gomi says, I'm here for the spice drawer. Damn right.
It's a good spice drawer.
Above average. What's the cocktail of the day? Not sure.
It's a ginger cranberry French 75.
Gee.
And we can probably use this now. It's still a little warm, but it won't be too bad if you want to use it. There's some sparkling, or I guess just there's some Prosecco in the back fridge.
Now?
If you want to, yeah. Okay. My mom cooks with a pinch of that and a drop of that, and she's still the best cook in the world, in my opinion. She cooks that comfort food. It's probably why I'm fat. A pinch of this and a pinch of that, all that means is that she's super comfortable in the kitchen, and she can just kind of like feel the way that something is gonna taste when she puts it into her food. And that is like, it is. That's like the best kind of cooking, is when you're that comfortable. I am using Empress. We have other gins, but the recipe that I found for this, they used Empress. I'm sure they used it just for the color, because to me, Empress is kind of floral, and that seems a little weird when you're doing cranberry. I mean, the ginger, I guess, maybe it mixes well with the ginger. But like, in my opinion, there are probably like better gins to use with this, like things that are a little more citrusy or herbaceous than like something that's more floral like an Empress. But like, we're gonna do it. It's what the recipe was. You follow the recipe exactly the way that it's written, at least the first time, and then you can riff off that. Hendrix is your favorite gin. We have Bombay Sapphire, and then we also have gin from one of our favorite gin makers called Big Gin out of Seattle. They're so good, and they do. What's fun about them is they have just a straight up gin, and then so this is a London Dry, and then they also do a peated gin, so it tastes almost like a really light Scotch, and they do a bourbon barrel aged gin that tastes like a really, really light bourbon, and they're so good. But yeah, this company is super creative. They're really fun, and they've got some really good products. And I will, like, hashtag not sponsored, but I will sing their praises every chance I get. You make your own gin? That's awesome.
Well, we have more than that.
Yes, we do. Okay. Get them juices out. Did you guys watch them just completely spill all the lemon juice?
No.
A maple aged gin in Vermont. That sounds pretty good. I imagine that was kind of sweet, but I bet you that's tasty. Have we tried Aviation yet? I have. I wasn't a huge fan. It's okay. I'm not a really big proponent of buying like celebrity stuff. Like, I may try it out in the wild, but I'm not gonna buy a bottle of like any celebrity-led liquors. And even wines, like Miraval's okay, which is a rosé that like Angelina and Brad did.
If it's good, it's good.
If it's good, it's good. But I've yet to have a celebrity endorsed or promoted liquor that's been like at the level of other things that I found in the store that I've liked way more. Like, some of them are okay, but like I've never found one that I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is it. I will always keep this stocked in my house. So I don't know if that, yeah. It's pronounced Brangelina. Sorry. Okay, now I'm going to take
The
washed pot that my sous chef so wonderfully washed for me.
I think the sous chef washed.
Okay, my dishwasher.
Dish boy.
My dish boy. Oh goodness. I think we're at the wrong. Oh, you took it off. That's okay. That's okay. Okay, so now we're gonna make the syrup, and I do have this recipe. This is actually, there are 2 recipes today that I'm trying out for the first time. I make the same marshmallow recipe, Alton Brown's marshmallow recipe every year. I've been making marshmallows for like 5 years. And when I went to pull up the recipe for the stream and for this year, he had something called Homemade Marshmallows 2.0, which has a half a cup of corn syrup instead of a full cup. And I'm gonna try this one. So I've never tried this one. I have made marshmallows in the past, so I do know like the technique, but it's gonna be a little different. And then I've made the melomakarona before, but I overworked the dough, and it did not sop up the honey the way that I wanted to. And I think I found a more Americanized version of it the first time that I made it. This one I think is gonna be a little more traditional. So I am excited to try this one. But we are now going to make the honey syrup for this. Okay, so this is going to be 1 1/4 cups of water, 2 3/4 cups of sugar, basically 300. I don't know why they listed it as, 300 mils of water and 600 grams of sugar. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Do I need the silpats? I need 2 silpats.
Okay. Oh, what the bro?
Well, yeah, maybe more than, we'll work with 2. We'll work with 2 and see how it goes. Thank you. We designed our house. We were lucky enough to purchase this before like home prices started going nutso. About what, six years ago? Oh, maybe a little longer than that now at this point. This year is year 6 or year 5? Luke is 6 now, so he was just over 1. 5. Okay. Sorry, I have no idea when we bought this house.
Yeah, November 26th.
Okay.
Also,
I think all of these are wet.
500.
GIMP with 500 bits. Kari in the kitchen is a great LEP stream. Yay! And Hermanador. Wait, no. Did you read that one already?
Yeah.
Okay, Hermatador. Hermatador? I'm going to go with that.
Nailed
Chocolate.
it.
Chocolate.
Oh, wait, it's not scrolled all the way up.
Okay.
King Beaver with the 4 months of primers.
There it is. Anyway, we were lucky enough to purchase this house, and it was like you buy the lot and the house kind of together, and then the builder will build the house according to like 4 styles you can choose from situation. But they like, he's such a nice guy. And I know some of you have met him because he came on stream once years ago, Don, the builder. And I just did that wrong. I was not paying attention. Let's go ahead and make sure that we take out the weight of the bowl. So I'm doing 600 grams of sugar, which I need a bigger bowl. So anyway, so Don is a really nice guy, and he let us kind of move walls around and like make extra space. And then like our kitchen's actually an extra 7 foot pushed this way. That was not originally. Originally, it was supposed to like, I basically have the cutoff like right here in the middle of my stovetop. And like that was supposed to be the kitchen. And I was like, no, we need more space. And so we went ahead and worked with him on it. And it was funny when we were designing the house because he'd be like, oh, what do you want to do in this room? What do you want to do that? And I'm like, I don't really care. Let's just do this. Let's just do that. And then he was like, okay, it's kitchen time. What do you want to do in the kitchen? I was like, okay, well, wait. Like, I need a couple days. Like, I've started researching, and I need more time to figure out what I want to do because the kitchen is going to be the most important part of my house for me. But yeah, I love how it turned out. I love how this kitchen turned out. Oh, we're so close. Okay. Yeah, 600 sugar.
company. It
What?
was just he owned the company.
Yeah, it was his own
Brad
company.
Roberts.
It was his own company. He actually sold it to his nephew, who now runs it. And I don't know. I know that they travel to build houses, but they're in the United States. I don't know where whoever that was that asked. But it's the Great American Construction Company, I believe. I think that's what it is.
Great American.
Yeah, because you got to be all like that.
America.
Is the home a modular? No, it's not. It is not a modular home. But those seem super cool. My countertop height looks custom. It's not. This is normal counter height. Okay, and then
Extra
300
short.
mils of water. Do, 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 do. So I think I should be able to fit into this. Is that hot already?
Yeah.
I'd rather not, but it's okay. Whee! Am I gonna make it? She made it.
My wife is a kitchen designer, says Matt.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Going back on board here. I'm going to mix 300 milliliters of water, which is essentially 1 1/4 cups of water, and then 600 grams of sugar. Oh my God, it's like, that's a lot.
600 grams.
Yeah.
Gee.
Which is about 2 3/4 cups. It's basically like 4 cups of a like double simple syrup. So like, if you're gonna make just like a straight simple syrup, it's 1-to-1 sugar and water. But if you double up on that, there's a special name for it it's completely eluding me right now. That it's basically 2 sugar to 1 water, and that's basically what I'm making right now. Oh, that's sugar. I know. Well, it's a syrup that is going to end up like coating the cookies and soaking into them a little bit, but I'm not just like pouring that into a mix or anything anywhere, if that's helpful. If that's helpful at all. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and let that sugar dissolve, and then we are going to add, I believe, some orange, some cinnamon sticks, some whole cloves, and then after that is kind of dissolved and we've got everything kind of simmering a little bit, we're gonna turn it off, and then I'm going to add honey into that and then let it sit. It's not demerara. I used to cook with demerara. It's just an unbleached sugar. It's just unbleached. That's just the only difference. It's just regular granulated sugar. My kitchen's gonna smell incredible. My kitchen still smells. Do you brush the syrup onto the cookies? No, you literally drop the cookies into the syrup and let them like fully soak for like 10 to 20 seconds and then take them out. My kitchen smelled a lot like turkey stock. Yeah, all yesterday. I can still smell it. So like until I do something strong enough to get rid of that, all I'm smelling right now is like turkey and a couple of other flavors. I'm convinced that I need to get checked for ADHD. And I bought a turkey for Thanksgiving, and it was, of course, a fresh turkey because I'd rather buy it fresh than not. And I left it out. I had it zipped into a bag. I put all the other groceries away, and the bags are not see-through. I forgot that it was in there, and it sat out for 4 hours in my kitchen. And I was like, I can't feed that to people. I just wasted all that money. And so I spatchcocked it, and I like baked it for an hour and a half, and then took it apart and just made gravy out of it. It was like, really expensive gravy. But, I guess you do what you have to, right? Okay, I'm gonna need the cinnamon sticks and some cloves and an orange. Can you juice these guys for me? por favor. And then cinnamon sticks, whole cloves. All right, so sugar is still dissolving. We're almost there. I'm going to toss in my cinnamon sticks.
Yo, what up, Chef? Bam, bam.
What?
Chef
3
Bam.
cloves.
I'm a juicer, baby.
And then I'm simply going to give this a little roll. Get kind of the essence out of the skin a little bit and the juice going. And I'm gonna cut this little guy in half, and I'm gonna toss him right in. This gets tossed in. Just like that. I'm making mulled wine. No, I am making a nice little syrup. Okay. So I'm going to bring that to a gentle boil for about 5 minutes. Then I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to add my honey. Cool. Can you hire the tall fella to juice your lemons for Thanksgiving? No, because I need him to juice my lemons for Thanksgiving.
I'll juice your lemons.
You eat... Okay, in Sweden, you eat pig's blood mixed with other things, then fried and topped with jam. Sounds good, right? I mean, sure. I'll try anything. At least once, right?
Rotten fish.
That's a thing. Fermented fish?
I know.
Yeah, I would try it. I would try it. I can't guarantee I would ever eat it again, but I can try it. Okay. Let's make that cocktail. I'm feeling like we need that. And then I can start working. So I'm gonna make this cocktail, and then I'm gonna start working on the biscotti. I guess I can set up a little bit for that here. I'll start working on the biscotti dough and get that shaped and into the oven. And then we will work on the pecans after that.
Hot dog, cinnamon sticks.
Biscotti doesn't know. The cinnamon sticks. I almost said something different. The cinnamon sticks look like hot dogs. I almost said that. I stopped myself. You're the one that said it, not me. Oh no. Okay. So I've got my syrup. I've got my gin. I've got some Prosecco here that Lep is going to have to open because popping things terrify me. I can't do these. Yeah, I can strain it. So like this stuff, and then like
Crescent roll.
the like pop-up dough canisters. I can't. It's just so scary.
It's so scary.
I wish that I could, but it's like I don't like jump scares.
Surprises.
Jump scares are not fun. I don't know who likes those. Who doesn't like a Euro Trip reference, right?
Make mistakes.
Your boy checked with a 9 months in a row. Yikes. Full gestational period. You made a baby with Lep. You did it. Huzzah. Okay, ice in this sucker. I'm gonna start doing some measurements. Okay, we get 2 ounces of gin, 60 mils of gin.
2 shots of vodka.
Yeah, right. Only I'm gonna do, can I fit 5 ounces in here? I can. No, it needs to be more than that. Okay, so we're just gonna pour 4 because we're making 2 cocktails here. So we're doing 120 milliliters, 4 ounces. Yay. Okay, we're gonna do 2 ounces, 60 mils of the lemon. We're gonna do 2 ounces of our syrup, which may overflow. We will find out. Honestly, this just seems stupid. Here, this is what I wanted to do with this, and we're gonna do that because it's gonna be easier, and I really don't feel like wasting my time. I'm gonna pour the syrup from this bowl into a salad dressing thing that I've had for way too long and have never and don't use very often.
Why?
Because I make, because then it's easier to pour.
Oh.
Because then I can just do this. And like, who doesn't love that? Okay. Toss her in. And shake. You want to grab some cups? I will mute this while I shake it because it will hurt your ears. And I don't want to do that to everybody.
I could always just turn it down. Watch this.
What are you going to do? Can I shake? I'm just going to mute. It's fine.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
What is What the heck? I'm unmuted. I unmuted myself.
Whoa!
Okay.
Got some sacks from Ogon Kishi.
I have no idea. I'm not looking at it.
And Reno with a 10. Yay! And Lucy with a 5. Gifted.
That was fairly close to a perfect split. Okay. And then we're gonna top these off with some Prosecco.
Himsy 12, the year of primers. Reno.
Here you go, baby.
We don't make mistakes.
Oh no.
Terminator.
We have happy accidents.
Oh hey! Nice. It didn't actually overflow. Fantastic.
Now my paradox in 13 months. What's with all the money? Vanguard got out of 5. This is trying to be a scam train. I think scam train's on cooldown.
Uh-oh. Okay. Cheers. Good. That's tasty.
That's strong.
What do you mean?
True.
That's delicious.
Oh, wait, scam train's not on cooldown. Boy, London, power.
What's going on? What? Guys, chill out. Everybody needs to take a break. Take a step back.
Wait.
What? I gotta move this stuff out of the way.
What was that drink again? This won't be right.
Okay, so this drink is a ginger cranberry French 75. And it's basically a cranberry and ginger simple syrup that you make ahead of time and chill. And then you mix that, 2 ounces of gin. The recipe calls for Empress, which actually works very well. I'm surprised. I was thinking we were gonna have to use a different kind of gin. 2 ounces of Empress gin, 1 ounce of lemon juice, and then 1 ounce of the simple syrup. Shake, pour, and then top with some sparkling wine of your choice, cava, prosecco, champagne, whatever you want. And it's delicious. It's kind of like a poinsettia, but it's cranberry ginger.
Josie tagged me, Freehand, Rock, and Rob with participation. Bit. Sounding the worst emotes on Twitch.
The new worst emotes. Honestly, I don't think they're as bad as the other ones.
Really?
Yeah.
Kirkle says Kari needs the stage. The kitchen is her stage, Kirkle.
Okay.
While you're sipping that gin and juice, would you mind giving Chad a split balloon bath? back? No. Or yes, I would mind.
Okay, I'm gonna just go over again what we're making today, just in case we've got some new people in here that weren't here when we first started. Woo! Okay, ready? Whoa, I can do it. 9 months, tier 3. Woo! Give me that! Best in the game, chat. You're welcome. Okay, so we're making 4 things today. The cocktail was an added surprise because I finished getting ready 30 minutes before and was like, I need something to do. But we are going to make a chocolate swirled or a ganache swirled marshmallow. We're making candied pecans. We are making some ginger cardamom biscotti that are dipped in white chocolate. And then we're making some melomakarona, which are a Greek Christmas cookie. These are all kind of like Christmassy treats. If you want to bring the family nights, you are welcome to. Family holidays. What is going on with this? Why are we entering timer stuff? Cancel.
We don't make
I just
mistakes.
want to bake.
We have happy accidents.
For the 5
Thank you.
subs.
Bake.
Give me that.
Okay, this syrup is done. I'm turning it off. And then I'm going to now add
Purple with 100 bits. Damascus with 100 bits.
about a little more than a half a cup of honey. It's 200 grams of honey. That's quite a bit. Not gonna lie. I don't think that is in here. I think I have to go grab another container of honey.
You post the recipe on Discord.
For which one? For all of them? They're long. Like I actually started writing them out, and I wrote out the biscotti one, and I've written out the pralines, the candied pecans. I started writing out the melomakarona and like my instructions in the way that I want to do it. But like some of them, like the instructions are like really long, even in type. I can, but just like, oh, for the cocktail. Yeah, I can put the cocktail in there. That'll be relatively easy. I need to figure out how we want to post these things. Like, should I make like a PDF and like post it as an image?
No.
No, honestly, like what should I do with that? Smoke signals? Okay. Okay. Where did my kitchen scale here? My handy dandy kitchen scale. When you are baking, like seriously, this is like a really cheap one. Like just buy a kitchen scale. Do it. It will make your baking so much better. What's the matter? You guys are still donating? Stop! Drop that PDF like a mixtape? Okay. Take a picture of the copy or text on my phone. I use Trello to organize my thoughts, my life. And so I have a Trello account, and I literally just have a ton of cards, and then like click into them. I've got a checklist of the ingredients, and then I have like a notes section with all of the directions in them, and that's like how I keep track of all the stuff that I make.
I think Streamlabs is screwing up.
Uh-oh.
The alerts are like 5 times louder than they used to be.
This is a lot of...
I turned them way down, but I don't know.
The reason that there's so much of this syrup, yeah, I'm gonna need more honey. The reason there's so much of this syrup is because this recipe makes like 80 cookies. Like it's gonna be a lot. Which is what I wanted. Like I wanna have a lot because I have people that wanna eat them. I think I'm gonna bring them to multiple locations. Let's get... What do we think? Oh, these are both Tupelo honey. We'll do this one. Honestly, I bet you Mike's Hot would be great in this, but then it wouldn't be traditional.
Reno.
More people? Reno, seriously, you already did 10. Chill. You already did 10, bro. You don't gotta keep going. You can sit back and enjoy.
He just loves the Fortnite saxophone.
I do too. Honestly, that sax is my favorite.
There's some great sax.
Okay. 200 grams of honey going into our syrup. I'm actually gonna fish out the stuff that I put into it. Let's go ahead and take out.
We have happy accidents.
Give me that. I'm gonna take out.
Shit! With the 62! Day one resub!
Take out the oranges.
Scam train. Let's see those scam train emotes. Hi. What? All right, babe. Look at this.
What is it?
Look at it.
Yeah. I can't see it. That's not a hype. It looks like It looks like he's making fun of somebody. You know what? I don't approve of that being coming out in my stream. I don't like bullying.
Look at this one.
What? What is that?
It's hype, huh?
Okay, I mean, like, so they added question marks so that you could try to like come up with the title of it.
Bad.
Okay. Yeah, that's not great. I'm not gonna lie.
Ogo Kishi with another 5 different subs.
Oh, thank you.
Another 5.
Another 5.
Nerve the 100 bits. And Gearbox 0 with the 12 months. A primer. You guys look like a perfect family.
Ow, that was loud.
Clap.
That hurt my ear. I bet you chat's like, what?
No, it's okay. Perfect family on camera.
Stop. Don't be like that. We're just like any other family out there that loves each other. Okay. Here's that.
On camera, manga S. Well.
Okay.
All the time.
That's done. Okay, so now this syrup, this honey syrup that I've made, which is like a lot of syrup. I feel like I'm in the right place. Not in the right place. You moved it, didn't you? You did. Okay, so now this syrup, I've probably got about like 5 cups worth of syrup here. I'm gonna let this chill. I'm actually gonna go, honey, can you put this in the back refrigerator? I'm not sure that there's space in this one.
Sure.
Let me see if there's space. Yeah, it needs to get into the refrigerator soon. Oh, here, I can move this back. Okay, you can toss that right there.
And Kirkle with the 10 gifted subs.
Okay, syrup is done. We're gonna start making our biscotti.
What did I just say?
Kirkle with something.
See, I can always tell when she can't have her ears, or when her ears aren't open. I can always tell. I know you'll get to replay it in your memory, but you didn't.
No, I didn't do it.
It's funny because I am scattered brain and I think of everything all the time, and you're hyper focused on this one thing. And with us together, we're a perfect.
So good.
We're a perfect pair.
I gotta say that may be my new favorite cocktail.
Mine's done.
If you want another one, you can make another one. You've got plenty left over. Okay. Honestly, we should probably put the Prosecco back in the fridge. Okay. So for the biscotti, this was literally, this and the crystallized ginger are the only thing that I've already like measured out. What?
After stream, Left retires to a studio apartment with a mattress and TV on the floor. This is the paid actress's house. That's right.
This is my house. He just comes here and stays in it.
Your cave.
He rents the front room for his stream setup. What is the cocktail? Rock and Rob, we made a cranberry ginger French 75. It's a cranberry and ginger simple syrup. It's got 2 ounces of gin, 1 ounce of lemon juice, 1 ounce of that syrup, and then it's got just a topper of however much sparkling wine you want on top of that. And it's very good. I will be posting, because that was requested, I will be posting that recipe in one of Lep's Discord channels. It's called the International Department of Gluttony! Discord. It's probably because somebody cut on it with a knife. I'll buy another one. They're not that expensive anymore. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start just getting out all the ingredients for my biscotti. I actually did parse out the butter because I needed it to warm up a little bit. So I've got 6 tablespoons of butter. You okay? Okay. And then we're going to use some light brown sugar, which I will take care of. I need 2 eggs.
Seal pats are cleaned.
I'm lucky enough to buy the expensive eggs, not because I think they taste any different than like Eggland's Best or like whatever the heck you can buy in your grocery store, but because it's important to me that I buy pasture-raised eggs because I love the chickens, and I think that local farms should be getting the money. And I just dropped it. It's okay. It's fine. It didn't exit. Okay. Okay, so I've got 2 eggs. We're going to need some vanilla extract. I'm going to need some baking powder. I'm just going to grab ingredients from this little mosh pit of things that I have here. I need flour. Woo. Baking powder. Salt is by there. I need these guys. Cardamom. Not cinnamon. Ginger. Vanilla. Okay. Make some room. I don't think that I have these listed out fully in grams or milliliters yet. I don't. I started doing it, but I haven't fully done the recipe because I wanted to make sure that if I was going to give it to anybody, that I could give it to them in either imperial or metric. That's kind of important.
Exclamation point menu. Dolphin.
Okay. Got everything I need. Okay. So we've got 6 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to toss that sucker in. And then we're going to need 2/3 a cup of brown sugar. I'm using light brown sugar for this. I'm going to also have to use it for my pecans. I like to use dark brown sugar for my pecans because it caramelizes a little bit better. It's got more molasses in the mix. But I only have light brown sugar in the house. So light brown sugar for the biscotti and dark brown sugar, if you have it, for the pecans. Okay, and that's packed. Okay.
Left, give me a drink. Pour a lot of gin into a cup and add a dash of cranberry. Vodka.
Okay, I need another little bowl.
Pizza cash, sharp or no pizza?
Ooh.
That feels like deja vu.
Does it?
Yeah, I think someone said that.
Really?
But in those exact terms. I'm dreaming of pizza. Tier 5 sub. Dog.
260.
Tier 5.
I need 260 grams or 2 cups of all-purpose flour. If you're scooping flour for baking, little hot tip here, then you are going to want to scoop and then drop your scoop into a separate cup. You don't just scoop your cup and then use that, because what that does is it compacts your flour down and you end up using way more flour than you're supposed to use in a recipe. And so what you want to do is you want to kind of like scoop and then kind of lightly drop it in so that it's aerated. A typical cup of flour is roughly between 120 and 140 grams. Thus why using a kitchen scale and using like grams and milliliters and stuff is just so much better for baking. But
you said a cup of flour is how much?
Usually between 120 and 140 grams.
Okay. What do you say?
Yeah.
Cup.
Okay, so I need 2 cups of flour, roughly 260 grams of flour.
No, Supreme King, the best camera angle we have is slightly tilted above. I'm not useless in the kitchen. I wash dishes.
He cleaned everything.
I read chat.
Yeah, reading chat's important because I'm trying to like work.
She's
and
focused.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to increase the prioritization on the overhead cam so it's not a second delayed.
Ooh.
Through the Wi-Fi Google by
flour.
mesh network settings, but there's no prioritization setting I can find yet.
Okay, 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder.
I'm just useless in general.
Did you?
What did I do?
Do you know where my... There they are. My measuring spoons.
Not eating lunch today? Yeah.
I guess not.
I mean, this stuff. I never eat lunch. I'm not hungry.
Okay, so
I could be hungry.
1.5 teaspoons, roughly 7.5 milliliters, which is not right because it's not weight. I have to do the grams of this.
What am I cooking?
What?
I'm not cooking anything.
1.5
Wait.
teaspoons.
You're allowed to scoop that?
Yeah.
Isn't that compacted?
Yeah.
That's expected.
Yes, it's expected. It's
okay.
expected. It's one of the more confusing things about baking is it's like you have to do everything a certain way or it like doesn't work right. Yay, science of baking. Okay, and then basically what I'm doing right now is I've got my butter and my sugar here. I'm going to start it, but it's going to be like a little loud, so I'm going to measure out all of my ingredients first and get everything kind of ready. So I'm going to start creaming the sugar and the butter together in my mixer, and then I'm putting together a lot of my dry ingredients, which include flour, baking soda, salt, and then the spices the ground spices that are going to go into that. And then my eggs and my vanilla are going to kind of go into this wet mixture before I put this like dry spice mixture in. So I've got a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I tend to add a little more than what a recipe calls for in salt because I use Diamond Kosher salt. It's not as salty as a lot of other kosher salts. It's really forgiving. It's the best salt, honestly, in my opinion, to cook with. And I do not cook with iodized salt. I honestly don't know that's really salty, and I don't know what the like ratio is for that. Like if you were going to use like table salt versus a kosher salt, I don't know what the breakdown is.
Not all
like,
salts are created equal.
No, they're not. Like not at all. And like the size of the crystal determines like a whole lot of how you use it and when you use it. And then like I said, like sea salt and kosher salt, you can almost use interchangeably in cooking. It may be like slightly different to taste or any of that kind of thing. But iodized salt is like a completely whole different thing. And then something like a fleur de sel, which is like usually like really big crystals that are used for like topping caramels and candies and things like that. I wouldn't say to use in like baking because the crystals are just way too big. Like if you eat something and you hit one of those pieces of salt, it'd be like, whoa, what was that?
Reno, I had a protein bar, but it's like 200 calories.
Are you hungry?
No.
Okay.
Thirsty.
Are you sure you don't need something? Okay, I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons of ground ginger. If you find that your ginger, when you go into your spice rack, if your ginger is more than like 6 months old, let's just say, I would suggest upping it to 3 teaspoons instead of 2 teaspoons. Just because spices lose flavor over time, and you're gonna want to up it just a little bit. And then I'm going to use 1 teaspoon of cardamom, ground cardamom. Oh, it smells so good. And I do have if you wanted to like do this whole thing yourself, you could like dehydrate grated ginger, and like make yourself a ground ginger powder kind of a thing. And then the same thing with the cardamom. If you buy like green cardamom pods and like crush them and get all those little like seeds on the inside of the pod and grind those up, that's what ground cardamom is made out of. So if you really want to like get intense with it, you can. And that is what you would do. Okay, so we've got all of our dry ingredients together here. Fork. Mix that up just a bit. And then I'm going to turn this on. And I apologize. I don't know how loud this stuff is going to get over the mic, but I need to start doing this. Uh-oh. Flex the spice drawer. I don't know if he'd have to move the camera. We can. I love my spice drawers. And I'm like so OCD about them. Everything is in color order. It's fine. I don't have a problem. What?
Wave your hand in front of the mixer.
Nope, sorry.
Damn it! Why is it so laggy?
Okay, so I'm actually gonna let the butter and the sugar mix for like at least 2 minutes. For me in cookie making, and actually I didn't really do this right, I like to really like get the butter started until it's almost like lightened in color. So like American butter is yellow, even though it doesn't really need to be. And I like to take it like a step up, like a step lighter in color before I start adding in the sugar to cream the sugar in. And then I like to let them like really marry with each other in a mixer. So I'm gonna let this go for just a little while, and then I will add an egg at a time to incorporate. Then we'll come in with our vanilla extract. It may look a little curdled when you're adding things in, when you're adding in some of the liquids. Ignore it. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine. It will smooth itself out, and it will start looking delicious if you just give it a little bit. Oh, you're gonna do spice drawer? Okay. Should I add the spices back in so they can see all of them? Most of them are labeled.
Can't even zoom out far enough.
Where did I get the baking gear storage containers? Amazon? What do you mean baking gear storage containers? You mean like the spice containers? Tell your dog I said hi. There's 2 drawers. It's not actually one. We say spice drawer, but it's actually 2. And I originally didn't have them labeled, but Lep could never tell what was what, so I labeled them. And then now he just like turns them over until he finds what I need. You made it, JD. Hi. You've not missed the marshmallows. Okay, so now this, I'm gonna do this so that everybody can see it. So it started with butter.
Oh, sorry, wait.
It's okay.
Wait.
It's fine. I started with butter and like a brown sugar, and it's gotten considerably lighter since I started. And now I'm going to add in my eggs. I'm gonna add them in slowly and gently. And since I dropped this egg, we're gonna be extra special careful. And taking this apart and hoping that none of the shell gets in. Yay, we did it. Okay. Ooh, what's the drink?
Gone.
This guy? We did an extra special. We did just like a surprise drink because like I was like, you have to have a cocktail, right? So this is, yeah, his is, you can make another one. It's a ginger cranberry French 75. And it is pretty dang good, if I do say so myself. Oh, the food storage containers. Yeah, those are OXO. Those are OXO. They do have sets at Costco, just like Mike the Canuck said. They have them at Costco, and I think it's like $59.99 for like a bunch of tops and lids and stuff like that. And then if you have like a Bed Bath & Beyond or a Target or a Walmart or any of that stuff, they're gonna have either their own brand, their own version of it, or they'll have those as well. And I'm just gonna use Santa. We're gonna do it. Okay, I'm just gonna bring the sugar back down the sides of the bowl a little bit better. And I'm gonna add my next egg. So
If you do the
that's Yeah.
Kills the bubbles.
Yeah. Okay, so basically gonna add an egg at a time. Once the egg is incorporated, I'm gonna add the second one. There we go. Second egg is in. When I add in the vanilla, it's going to look a little curdled. Do not let it scare you if you make these. It is not a big deal.
Am I actually helping with anything?
Yeah.
That wasn't a very strong yeah.
You're helping clean. You're helping with entertainment. You're helping with chat and like talking and saying everything that's going on.
I'm just the producer, director, technician.
Yeah, we have a lot of kitchen.
Dish boy.
We have a lot of kitchen space, and it makes me very happy. Not gonna lie, like the fact that I could put all of my spices in 2 drawers, and that like those drawers weren't like, oh no, I've like completely lost storage space for this other thing, and like now I don't know what to do with it. Like, so good, so good. Okay, so now that is incorporated, I'm gonna add in my vanilla. And that's gonna be 2 teaspoons of vanilla.
Squeeze lemons.
Woo! I lost my teaspoon. Here we are. Okay, so we're gonna do 2 teaspoons of vanilla.
I love how the command says, in case you use the metric system.
And then I'm gonna slow this down because now I'm gonna start adding my dry ingredients in. Okay, we're gonna do this just a little at a time. Yeah, see, I don't know how much you guys can see into the mixer.
A little bit.
But like it just for a second, like it starts to look a little curdled. And like
How do you identify curdle? Like chunky or
yeah, okay,
particles?
So like
oh yeah, like it's like
so like it looks gross. I mean
that looks gross.
It starts to look almost
That
like
looks terrible.
yeah, so like it looks like your milk went bad and started like creating curds, right?
Why?
Or like your eggs
Why?
or something like that. I think it's the alcohol content in the vanilla.
There's alcohol in vanilla.
Yeah.
I didn't know
In
that.
extract, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of stuff, but I did
But
not know
like
that.
it'll go away if you mix it a little bit more, and then it'll like it's like as it's mixing, it looks better, and then it'll start to kind of look curdled again. But like ignore it. Once the flour goes in, it's not gonna matter. So I'm gonna just like set this on low. I'm gonna start adding.
Love about the chug the vanilla.
No, do not. It's expensive. Don't.
I can get drunk off vanilla. Yeah.
Dude, the vanilla extract I buy, this was $25.
Damn.
This is the most expensive alcohol that will not get you drunk that you've ever had in your life.
$25 dues
Yeah.
for this little guy?
Yeah. I suggest that you don't drink it.
118.
Captain Mac with 22 months. Cooking stream, not used to this high quality content on this channel. Uh-oh.
118
Shots
milliliters.
fired.
118 milliliters. $25?
Yeah.
Gee, that's like $2.
Definitely not chuggable. Yeah, right?
That's expensive. I don't know the math on that, but that's expensive.
Have I tried making my own extract? I've made limoncello before, which turned out pretty well. I've contemplated making my own extracts, like an orange and a vanilla, but I just like haven't gotten around to doing it. I haven't like gone down the rabbit hole of like hyper focus and like extreme like I don't know, like excitement about doing it, and until I hit that, I probably won't. Like maybe one day if I get like really into like making my own simple syrups and like flavors and things like that, like I might end up there, but for right now, not so much.
Is this like the highest? The Watch Syndicate says this is the highest quality you can buy.
It is. It is.
What makes it different? They just do it right.
Yeah.
They figured it out. The secret.
Well, and they do like, okay, so like they do a whole bunch of different stuff. So I actually I'm using 2 different vanillas today.
What's it called?
They're both in this Nielsen Massey. So they're both the same company. I actually have more in there. I honestly like all of their extracts.
The child tears.
They're just, these are so much better than any extract you're gonna find at like in like your Publix or your Walmart or Winn-Dixie or whatever supermarket that you have. I'll buy this either online or we have a specialty cooking store. I like to try to buy local, so I'll go there and pick it up. But I've got just the extract here, which is actually cheaper than this, which is the vanilla bean paste. So like if you were gonna do like a flavored like creme of some sort, like some kind of pudding, like a creme brulee or like some kind of custard or whatever, a cheesecake, you would essentially take a vanilla bean pod, right? And you split it down the middle and then you scrape all of those seeds out and you use that and then you throw the pod in to like steep in the milk or in the cream or whatever you're using to flavor it. And then you get all of those cute little like specks.
Right. I've seen those.
Right. So you can do all that work or you can buy vanilla bean paste. So
Time is money.
Anytime I'm making something, like these taste the same. They're 1-to-1, extract versus the paste. But anytime that I like really want to see those specks, like in marshmallows, I'll use the paste because it actually is like the vanilla bean pod like center. And so I'll use this. But they also, Nielsen Massey makes, they do a lemon, they do orange extract. I've got
Expert extractors.
Yeah, here. So I've got, this is almond. They do almond. This one's peppermint. There you go. And then the vanilla that I'm using, both the paste and the extract that I have. Oh, sorry, are you doing it?
Boom.
You got it. Here's almond. Just for funsies. Yay, almond. So these ones are called, they're Madagascar bourbon vanilla. But they actually also make a Tahitian vanilla and they make a Mexican vanilla. Typically, if you're doing something like really light whipped cream,
Tahitian.
yeah. So if you're doing something that is like a super light, involves like cream, you would use the Tahitian vanilla. If you're baking something that is like a kind of like baked, caramelized, you're doing like banana breads, carrot cakes, like anything like that, I would suggest the bourbon. I actually like this more than any of the other ones that they have.
Gomi is basically requesting an extract drawer.
And then the Mexican, I have an extract and
Cabinet.
oil cabinet.
He said extract cabinet.
And then the Mexican you would use for chocolate is essentially when they would suggest that you use it. I just am like a huge fan of the bourbon, and I like it more than any of the ones. Like I'll experiment, but I really like the Madagascar bourbon one better.
I have no experience with any of this, but
Right.
basically extract is a concentrated form of whatever you're talking about. Like, right? Just concentrated vanilla.
It's concentrated flavor in like suspended in an alcohol or like some kind of like suspension.
And the alcohol helps concentrate
An
it?
aromatic. So not only does it give off an aromatic,
flavors.
it flavors whatever you're cooking because the flavor is in there, right? You've got the actual extract in there.
Whereas water just waters it down. Alcohol keeps it concentrated.
Okay, so water doesn't evaporate the same way that alcohol does.
Alcohol doesn't evaporate.
If you open, not the same way. You open, like it permeates the air more. So like if you were to open up a bottle of alcohol and you go, whoo, do you ever do that with water? So like, right. So not only like when you flavor things with an extract, and a lot of the times like the alcohol will cook off, but it leaves a kind of scent that you would not get if it were like in water. And also it lasts longer. So like if shelf stable stuff, you're gonna put water with something in it, it's gonna go bad. It's not gonna, like alcohol will kill whatever the heck is trying to get into it.
Bacteria.
So like there are a lot of different reasons for these kinds of things, but that's like, you know. Okay, so anyway, now that we've been talking about this for a while.
Okay, I was gonna say, that did look curdled. Now it looks whipped.
Yes. So this
No longer chunky
this
and
is the
weird.
dough. Yay, we got a dough. And I'm going to fold in the crystallized ginger, which I've pre-chopped.
Damn!
Because it takes forever. It's so sticky when you like kind of like try to chop into it with a
I'm
knife.
good with sticky stuff.
And so, oh God, stop. And so I'm gonna just like mix that in by hand.
Exclamation point menu, original Rage Face. We're currently creating the, take it away, I can't remember.
These are a ginger cardamom biscotti, and at the end, after they've cooled completely, we're gonna dip them in some white chocolate. But these, like you can probably throw the crystallized ginger in and just like on slow mix it in, but when I'm adding mix-ins, I'd rather just do the mix-ins by hand. I'm gonna taste this. Mm.
So, will those chunks get smaller in there somehow?
No, these will
Really?
stay the size.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are big.
Yep. Well, I mean, they're pretty well chopped compared.
I mean,
They were
they're
like
well
they came in
chopped.
like strips.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
texture-wise, are these?
So texture-wise, so right now they're tough, but once they bake, they'll
get
kind of
soft?
like they'll get kind of like a gummy consistency.
So it won't be as like.
Right. See, he asked all the questions you guys know you want to know.
Well, you're big
Right.
on texture, so I always see when I see chunks of stuff.
You're like,
smooth, I'm like,
right.
You're gonna like that? I thought you didn't.
Well,
like
remember
chunky
that the
stuff.
biscotti is crispy too. Like it's not like once
True.
it
Yeah,
bakes,
that's
it's
true.
not like
Right,
I'm eating
right.
it like this.
It's all really.
Right. Yeah, because I would probably never eat something. I would never
That
eat
was like
something
that.
that was like this.
Yeah.
That would
Unless it's
not be a thing. That would not be a thing.
I'm trying to remember the thing you hate that has. The thing I love, but it has a texture issue with you. Oh, what was it? Oh, like mashed potatoes with the chunks of mashed potatoes.
I'm kind of okay with that as long as like the chunks aren't uncooked pieces of potato.
True.
Like as long as like when I'm eating it, I can like kind of like break through that chunk, then I'm
What
fine.
about almond joy with the big almonds?
I don't like almond joy anyway because I'm not a huge fan of
you don't like
coconut.
it's true.
So like I don't do the like fruit in the bottom or like fruit in the yogurt.
Yeah.
Like mixed into the
Texture's
yogurt. I don't
weird.
want pieces of fruit in my yogurt. Like that's just gross. Ugh. And then like the tops of broccoli sometimes, like if broccoli is overcooked and it gets kind of mushy, I'll eat the stems. I don't want the tops.
Rustic mashed potatoes, Gimp. Let's go, baby. With the peel still in. Oh, and the garlic. You're allergic. It's fine.
I am. I still eat garlic though. But it has to be cooked. I can't eat fresh garlic. I can't eat fresh garlic. That's like not good. I swell up a little bit.
Will the you are allergic. Will the Boomer be on streaming in this year? Uncle Bob. No,
No.
we're not doing a Thanksgiving cooking stream this year.
Yeah.
This is
Okay, so this is
your semi-annual cooking stream.
yeah. Let's
Yo,
make
Brailled and Jenny thanks for follows. Is there an alert for that? Oh, there is.
an alert for what?
Follow. I see it on the dashboard. I don't think I've followed the alert.
Gonna move this
Oh, no,
stuff
I thought
out
you
of the
said
way.
up here or something. Uncle Bob will be here, but yeah, no, we may upload a picture of Uncle Bob just for tradition's sake. That's the reason you subbed?
For Uncle Bobby?
For Uncle Bob?
Oh man. Okay, so this is obvious. This is a sticky dough. And the way we combat that, if I have any
Exclamation point, Uncle Bob.
oh hon, can you
Wash?
hold on, I'm gonna just
Can we wash that?
yeah. Okay, I'm gonna spray this with cooking spray. And then I'm gonna use this to shape my biscotti into a log. You can also, if you don't want to use, like if you want to like get very hands-on, what you can do is you can use like a cup of water. You just get like a little bowl or a cup of water and stick your fingertips into it. Get your hands wet. Then you can just use your fingers to shape the log. I just am going to use a spatula instead. So you want this to be, I don't know, like the original recipe that I worked off of to make this one was like, this should be, 2 and 3/4 inches in width, which is like really small for a biscotti. So I'm gonna do, it's about 14 inches long, 4.5 inches wide, and about 3/4 inch thick, if that's helpful to anybody. Guys, don't make it weird. It's not weird. Don't make it weird. I see you. I'm like watching all of you. Okay. This dough is a lot wetter than the first time I made it.
Uh-oh.
And I'm wondering if I should have added a little bit more flour. That is very sticky. I may need to use my hands. Stop it! Stop it!
Yeah, it's like a foot long, right? Is it supposed to be longer?
Yeah, it's supposed to be about 14 inches.
Oh, so you
It's just,
like too
it's so
tall?
sticky that I can't. Huh?
like make it less tall to try to widen it or lengthen it?
Yeah, yeah.
Never seen biscotti made. Sounds complicated. I agree.
It can be kind of complicated. I'm not gonna lie.
I think Lev needs a button for. That's what she said. Voice clip. When Kari unintentionally does it.
There'd be too many of them.
It'd
It'd be like watching Top Gun.
be. He's coming hard and fast on my rear.
That's not what the line is, but that's okay.
Is it not?
No.
What is the line?
Below hard deck, coming hard, coming fast.
Below hard deck, coming
Yeah.
hard and fast.
Yeah, it's fine. It's okay that he doesn't know these things. I cry myself to sleep at night that my husband doesn't know these things. Still a little shorter than I would want, and I kind of want to put this into a refrigerator. I have a feeling this is going to spread a lot.
You chop it in half.
So okay, so this is a different kind of biscotti. So I typically make
really?
a chocolate pistachio biscotti, and the recipe has so much dough in it that I make two separate logs. But this one is only one, and I think I do want to put this into a refrigerator because it's going to spread like a lot. I'm kind of trying to decide if I want to make it a little bit narrower.
So
I may do that.
But wait, are you gonna slice these long ways?
No, they get sliced this way.
Oh.
Yeah, they get sliced this way. So the longer the log is this
But what
way,
happens to the tips?
the more you have. What do you mean?
The tips, they're just like little bitty biscottis?
Yeah.
I never see those.
That's because I eat them before the second bake.
Oh!
Because they're usually fully baked by the first bake.
Wow! I was like, this doesn't make any sense. You must do long ways and then chop it in half.
Those are always the first
I've never
ones we
seen
eat.
a short little biscotti. Wow. that's true.
Wow.
You're eating half the biscotti before you show me the biscotti.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to make it a little
Chef's tax.
longer. Right? That's exactly right.
The ends are only Scotties.
This is really wet. I'm super nervous about this right now.
What do you think that'll result in when you bake it?
Just a lot of spread.
Like it'll grow?
Huh?
What do you mean spread?
It'll widen out in every direction and flatten a little bit and just like spread out way further than it was supposed to. Like I've never had this be this wet. What?
Right here, look. Basically.
Get out. That's not for real. Nobody actually said that for real, right?
No, I just feel like I've seen this guy before.
Okay. There's no way.
Nudist stream is the dude at Cringe fan who won a day with her.
That's not real.
Too good. It's too good. he's got to be a regular.
Okay, I'm like trying to spread this out and I just keep making it the same size.
I actually won a lifetime commitment to Holy Matrimony.
Good. All right, that's a little bit longer.
But way thinner. But doesn't.
What do you mean way thinner?
Well, before it was wider.
Right. Well, because if I'm expecting it to spread,
Oh, okay, true.
then thin makes sense. That's a little better. Okay.
Aren't we all cringe fans?
Should I stick this in? I think I'm going to put this in the refrigerator.
Well, how does that help rather than throwing it right into the oven?
Okay, so the butter. Okay. Ugh, okay.
It's complicated.
Right now, the butter is warm.
Butter is
It's
warm.
going to start to melt the second it gets in the fridge,
Okay.
which is going to promote
Whoa,
spread.
the butter is going to melt?
Fridge, oven.
Oven.
Second it gets in the oven, it's going to start to spread.
Okay.
So if I can get the butter colder,
Okay.
it won't spread as fast.
The butter is what causes the expansion of the baking?
No. No.
So then
The butter.
I feel you're trying to dumb down several aspects of baking to me.
The
with one
butter.
sentence.
Okay. So the butter melts and leaves pockets
Of
air.
And
the baking powder in here is what creates the height and like any kind of like aeration holes or whatever the heck in the cookie.
That makes sense.
Now it's a cookie, so it's still going to be dense. It's not like bread.
Sure.
But like if you think of something like a croissant, you put butter in between each layer of dough, and then the butter melts, leaving layers, right? So the butter, if it melts, will spread all of the ingredients out because it's going to take it with it. So if I can make the butter colder and allow I allow the baking powder and the flour to kind of
pop off first.
Right, then it's a more constrained shape, and the butter will not do that. So can you actually go toss that in the refrigerator? We'll go a little out of order. I'm going to make the pecans now. Let's do some candied pecans. Okay, so I'm gonna need 1 egg white. I don't know if that was helpful at all for anybody, but hopefully it was. Let the flour pop off. I know, right? I know. Okay, so I'm actually going to turn this oven down. Originally, I was going to have the biscotti cook and then do the pecans after, but I don't think that's going to work. So we're going to do the pecans now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is whisk this egg white with this whisk. You're basically going to take a pound of pecans, which is about 4 cups of pecans. And then you're going to do 1 egg white plus 1 teaspoon of water. I'm going to whisk up, actually, this bowl. I'm going to whisk up this egg white. Guac would be good. Gonna whisk up this egg white until it gets a little foamy. I've found the egg white is basically gonna bind all of the sugar and spices that you're gonna add to the pecans. I felt it and then I just slowed down. It's gonna bind all the spices to the pecans, and so for me, I found that you can get more sugar and cinnamon adherence to like all the nooks and crannies if you really whisk this until it's almost frothy, and then mix in the pecans. So that's what I'm gonna do. If you just like put the pecans in with the egg whites and then start mixing them around, like you're gonna have spots on the pecans that aren't covered. And I don't want that. We don't want that. Not today. Can you grab me the cinnamon over there? And then I need the sugar. Okay. It's basically about half this bag.
I knew it.
What?
Grabbed the wrong one. Cinnamon.
much.
Toasted pecans or raw?
These are raw. These are raw because we are going to roast them in the oven. Okay.
You're an excellent whisker.
Thanks.
Look at that wrist flick
Oh.
action.
Where do I go? Do I have to bring it closer to me? I don't know how to. Where? Here? There we go. We got it.
I need to put an X on
You do. I need a spot. If you're whisking, any of this jam and this stuff is not as efficient. Just go back and forth. This is the fastest way to whisk something, is just to go back and forth.
Man, we gotta get higher FPS for that wrist action. I don't think it's tracking every movement. I think it's only getting every other movement.
So now this is kind of foamy, frothy, and then I'm gonna just dump.
We have happy accidents.
Yay.
That helps with everything sticking to the pecans.
Yes.
Eggs are sticky. Yo, Rune Racing's 8 months. Hello there. Ripolowski. And that's why he put a ring on it. Boo!
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and mix.
Raw egg pecans.
Yeah, I know.
And then you eat. It's ready.
No, well, it's egg whites. You could.
There's no danger.
No danger in egg whites.
That's what they say.
No danger in egg whites. It's the yolk. Technically, the outside of the egg is the most dangerous part of the egg. Technically.
We're talking about expensive cooking items. Pecans.
Yeah. Although I got it from Costco. I think it was $11.99
For that?
for that bag.
Damn!
Yeah, which is relatively cheap.
You know, Brad and Nick, they had 2 or 3 pecan trees around their house. We used to
Did you just pick them off the floor?
We had these special rolling things.
Uh-huh.
You just roll on the ground and pick up pecans.
That's cool.
That's Awana in chat.
Oh, hey, Brad.
He's not in chat, but
Oh, so if you see the name Awana, that is Brad.
Was his house when we were
Okay.
growing up.
So those are pretty neatly covered. I'm gonna go ahead and mix in the dry ingredients that we're gonna need. I'm gonna need a 1/3 cup of sugar.
This seems really simple. Is this just
This is super simple.
raw pecans,
Yep.
egg whites whisked, and then sugar?
Yeah. Well, and cinnamon
Sugar,
and a little bit of salt.
A little bit of salt, and that's it.
Yep.
I feel like I could almost do that.
You could do this.
I could almost pull it off.
You can most certainly.
Wow.
Oh, I did forget. We need some sugar. We need some. I did mention the dark brown sugar earlier.
Oh, along with sugar.
But you need
Just a different
granulated
sugar.
sugar and then dark brown
2
sugar.
types of sugar.
Okay,
Wow, why
so
does brown sugar smells so different.
because it's got molasses on it.
Molasses.
So all sugar has molasses on it in it. Like when it gets
But
taken out of the cane,
brown sugar has
it's got extra molasses in it. But so you can go get raw brown sugars, and the way that you can tell that it's actually a raw unprocessed brown sugar is if you take this and you put it underneath, you put a clump of it or whatever, a spoonful or whatever in your hand, and you run water over your hand, in the sink. Just turn your faucet on, stick your hand under, and try to keep the crystals in your hand. If they turn white in your hand, then it's processed, and they just processed the sugar in bulk and then went back and threw molasses into the mix, and they're like, hey, this is brown sugar. If it is a raw unprocessed brown sugar, then those crystals are gonna stay a honey color. FYI.
Post wisdom teeth stream for me. Okay. Oh, and I feel like you got your wisdom teeth removed.
There you
and
go.
You're currently on some sort of drug.
This should be great.
Wash your sugar. What kind of sugar is that? Looks like large crystals.
This is just granulated sugar.
Granulated.
It's just regular sugar. It's unbleached sugar from the store.
Unbleached sugar from the store.
Nothing special.
But most people buy the super white bleached sugar
Right.
because white is pure Like it looks pure.
It's just more processed. It doesn't taste any different. It's cheaper. I mean, whatever works for you. Honestly, whatever works for you.
Why do you go with
as far as I'm concerned? Well, because I'm like stupid like that. Like I, want things to be as unprocessed as possible when I'm cooking with it. But in all honesty, like I'm gonna get far less. That sounds good. Just say sounds good and send it. Making something yourself, like making something homemade, is going to be so much more important than like whether or not the ingredients are organic or unprocessed or like whatever the heck, or like bleached or not. Like the fact that you're taking the time to make something homemade instead of buying something already pre-made in the store that has like stabilizers and a whole bunch of other like processed foods in them, like it's so much better than even like this is stupid compared to that. This is just me being stupid. Like if you like,
you're not stupid.
Well, I just like if you have the money or the notion or like the want to do those things, then that's great. If you can afford to do this, like we can, like we're really lucky, then like go ahead and do that. But if you can't, like just making something from scratch, no matter what the like, like whatever the ingredient is, like how cheap the ingredient is, if it's just like basic sugar, or like the cheapest flour or whatever, like the fact that you're making something homemade instead of buying it out of box is like just so much better than taking the extra step. Like that's more important than this is, in my opinion. All right, I need a teaspoon of salt.
That's it? You got
What?
this whole bowl of sugar and just one little teaspoon?
Oh yeah. Well, the salt is just to make the flavor more pronounced. It's not actually gonna
Make it saltier.
No, salty doesn't make things. Salt doesn't make things salty. It's a flavor enhancer.
Would you say salt? This is too salty. Would you say that is inaccurate?
No, I wouldn't say it's inaccurate.
Well,
It's
there's
just
no such thing as a salt flavor, just a flavor enhancer.
it's brightened the flavors too much.
Ah.
Like salty is a thing. If it's like puckery and like dries your mouth out and whatever. That is indeed true. You're smart. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Wow. Okay, and then I need a tablespoon of cinnamon. The recipe is a tablespoon. I'm gonna add a little more because I love cinnamon so much.
Wow.
I love cinnamon so much. I'm gonna do it. Okay.
I didn't watch anything.
Yeah, you can watch whatever you want. I mean,
do you need anything washed?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't actually need anything washed. Just gonna add like a little extra.
Wow.
It's like a half teaspoon extra. Whatever, it's fine.
Just in case.
It's fine. I love cinnamon.
I like how you use the kids'
And
bowls.
then I know I should have used a bigger bowl. So this also my cinnamon. This isn't like the cinnamon you would buy off the shelf from the store. You can probably get this kind of cinnamon from not a specialty market, but like one of the fancier markets. So like a Whole Foods or a Fresh Market or whatever, some such similar establishment you have in your area. It's Vietnamese cinnamon.
Whoa.
And it tastes so much better.
Why?
It's warmer and it's more flavorful. And I just like it so much more than just like the straight up cinnamon that you can get from the store. And yeah, I don't know if that's helpful at all, and then cinnamon is different than Ceylon. So the cinnamon sticks that I had earlier, that's Ceylon. That's not like the same thing as like ground cinnamon. Venezuelan cinnamon? No, Vietnamese.
Venezuelan.
Yeah, Mexican cinnamon is also very good.
Is it cinnamon grown from that country or processed or?
What do you mean? Is it grown like yeah. Well, and yes, the source is different, but then also like how they process things are different than you would get it like processed here in America. Like a lot of American foods are so much more processed than foods in other countries, just because of like our rules are so much more lax in the things that we can have in our food. So now I'm just gonna pour a little in at a time, give it a nice coat. The microwave is in focus and I'm not. Well, sorry. I don't know if it's you or not. Yeah, it's a different tree entirely. Exactly.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Zero Titan. Aw, with the first ever sub. Thanks. Welcome. I hope you're enjoying the stream.
No, they gave money because they hate it.
Oh. Watch it. Okay, so just gonna do one last little mix here. These are pretty well and fully coated. And so now, basically what you do is you just cook them until they're dried out. So the egg white and the sugar, especially like the sugar's gonna start melting. It's gonna be like really wet for a little bit. And you're gonna put this in the oven at 225. And then about every 15 minutes, you're gonna open up that oven, take the tray out, give everything a little mix, and flip everything around, mix it around on your sheet, reflatten it out, and then put it back in the oven and let it keep kind of roasting until it dries out. Now, once it dries out, it is done. If you leave it in the oven for too long and you just kind of keep going, what's gonna happen is they're gonna start to burn, and you don't want your nuts to burn. That's not good for anyone. And they're not going to taste as good. But basically, what you're looking for, and I can try to show you guys, like with our handy dandy like up close and personal camera here, is that the inside of the nut is going to kind of get a little bit more translucent than it was when it was raw. So you're going to want to make sure that that nut is like fully cooked through. But that it's not so roasted that it starts to burn on the outside. Okay, so I'm gonna take my sheet pan here with my cell pat. You can put down some parchment paper because the sugar is going to melt. And it will stick to stuff. You don't want it to do that. I'm just gonna kind of flatten it out. Try to get everything on one level. Excuse me. And then this is gonna go in the oven. And I think I wasn't planning on it, but I think I'm gonna have to take, baby, I think I'm gonna have to have you take everything out of the bottom oven so that I can use the bottom oven. Yeah, because I got to take the biscotti out and bake the biscotti. And I can't bake them. The biscotti cooks at 350 and the pecans toast at 225. So different cooking temperatures make different results, and I don't want to burn anything. How long does the ganache last in the fridge? I would say the ganache is probably good for a week to 2 weeks maximum. Before I would consider it like, hey, this probably shouldn't be in here anymore. Okay, these are done. We can start our marshmallows now. We need an oven monitoring. Honestly, yeah, I should like put a timer so that it goes off like every 15 minutes because I will forget. 100% I will forget. Okay, so now I'm gonna need some powdered sugar. I'm still gonna need this cooking spray. All right, I'm gonna need some powdered sugar. I'm gonna need cornstarch. We're gonna need some gelatin and some Karo syrup. Or some corn syrup, sorry, light corn syrup. Huh? It's just the brand. It's light corn syrup. Exactly. I was like, who's asking me how long it lasts in the fridge? Is that even a thing? That's a question. Honestly, well, and like something you can do too, like, because ganache is so great, is like you can make truffles out of it. So like if you wanted to say, you know, take the ganache and like a little scoop or something like a spoon, and then just like roll it into like a little ball, and then you can like, you know, chop up some walnuts or some almonds or hazelnuts or something like that, and like give her a little roll through some chopped nuts or like some cocoa powder on the outside, just so that it's not sticky on the outside, just something to like dry the outside so when you pick it up, you don't have a problem. You can like stick a whole hazelnut, a whole like on the inside, or a macadamia nut or something, and then like put the ganache around it and then roll it and like have all the fun surprises and stuff inside your truffle. But like you can make truffles with it, and I'm sure that those would go over well. A big spoon or a little spoon? A little spoon. Use a little spoon. You are not, Katya, you're not too late for cooking time. Welcome. I know, so many nuts. Why is Lep 40 feet tall? Because he is. He is 6'2". I'm 5'3". Okay, so now what we're gonna do for this is I'm actually going to take some ice cold water. Basically, I'm just gonna be putting ice and water in a cup, swirling it around until that water gets super, super cold. And then I'm going to put 3 packets of gelatin into my ice water. And then I'm gonna let it sit for about 5 minutes. And while that is sitting, I am going to take some some light corn syrup, my bad. Let's see, light corn syrup, sugar, and do I add the salt? I can't remember when I add the salt. Oh, yep, and salt. So water, sugar, corn syrup, and salt. You can clean that, to my pot back here that I set up. So I've got a little candy thermometer on this guy. If you don't have a candy thermometer, you will need a thermometer. You will need a thermometer to do this, because it needs to hit 240 degrees. And so you need to know exactly when that happens. If it goes over that, you're gonna end up with what's called hard crack, or like a really hard candy. And you don't want it to do that. You want it to get to like a kind of like hard ball, or like in between a hard ball and a softball phase on your candy. So 240, and you take it off the heat. Like once it hits that, it is off, and it's getting poured into your little bowl of gelatin over here. But it's important that you either have a candy thermometer. If you don't have that, you can just use like some of these. Honestly, you can get like little pop ones. That are like, it's like a little round, just pinhead here. It shows the temperature, and then it's got the probe on the side, and you can just put it in and just see how it's going to go. I have this on hand just because this candy thermometer is not super reliable, and so I'll probably end up using this anyway. But just so you know what everything looks like, that is essentially what we do. So I'm gonna start measuring this stuff out so that I can get everything together, because this kind of happens rather quickly. Once that sugar comes to temp, everything kind of goes really fast, so I like to have it all together and ready to go. So we're gonna go ahead and just empty these gelatin packets out. Can you turn the bottom, put the bottom oven at 225? The bottom oven is kind of unreliable with like heat consistency. And so I'd rather throw the pecans in the bottom than have the biscotti go.
But
what?
Why do you say that? We never use the bottom.
I've used it. I use it whenever we do like big feast kind of a things. It cooks hot. Like both of the ovens cook hotter on the back side than the front side.
Yeah.
So I have to like turn things halfway through. But the bottom one there's more of a difference. So I'd rather cook the biscotti on the top. Okay, I need this little guy here. Okay, I apologize in advance. Actually, I'm gonna mute you guys. I'm gonna get some ice out of the refrigerator, and it's gonna be loud. Okay, and we back.
Man, that's terrible. I'm deaf.
It wasn't that bad. It's just I don't know how like powerful the mic is, and I don't want to hurt anybody's ears. Okay.
Isn't that funny how like
What?
you can hurt people's ears, but you can't really hurt people's eyes? Like imagine
Sure you
if I
can. The
was-
sun does it all the time.
Oh, that's good. That's true. But imagine if I was so ugly, you like look at me, you went, oh my god, my eyes! Oh god!
Well, when you go out in the sun, you reflect quite
That's
a
true.
bit.
The
So
calves, shade of
yeah,
the white skin. You're
it's
like,
true.
Oh god!
It's true.
That's true.
Everybody's like this.
You do hurt my eyes, actually. But you know, the pain of the ears comes from like ugly noise, but ugly sight doesn't hurt. It's bright.
Can you hand me the base of the mixer, the bowl? And then we've got, okay, so then I also need, I pulled this out because I thought I would be using
What's left
2 bowls.
standing on?
um,
Your mother.
okay, so I guess I'll move this again
Where?
to the, yeah,
Where?
to right here. I do still have to like do that, but I figured this will be, I don't know, easier. Okay. Okay, so this is going to use a whisk attachment. We used a kind of beater for the batter of the biscotti, but we're going to use a whisk attachment for this guy. Thank you. And what we're going to do is put, let's see, where's my water? What?
237
Well, it's a cup, but
milliliters.
it's divided.
Ah.
Okay. So I'm just doing a half a cup of water in my first section here. And you cleaned everything because you're awesome. Only I don't know where it went. There we go. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this ice water and I'm going to do a half a cup of water, a cold water, which, you know what? I'm going to take the ice out of. Okay. We're going to do half a cup cold water. Okay. And then we're going to pour our gelatin in. Yay.
Kari, I need your shirt. Where did you get it?
I bought this shirt on Amazon.
What's Amazon? That bookstore?
If you don't want to get it on Amazon and send the money to you know who, I've also seen it on Etsy.
What? Who's who? Jeff Bezos?
Yeah, the man who's funding the string.
Yeah.
If you want to go on Etsy, I don't like I said earlier. I'm not sure which platform gives a better cut to the people who are providing the items, but you can find it on Etsy. You can find it on Amazon. I saw it on like an ad one day and was like, I must have that shirt, and so now I have the shirt.
4 years of varsity basketball, cry salts. Or
Okay.
no, not cry. Sire.
Okay, so now I need 340 grams of sugar. Honestly, we're going to do this. This will be easier. Whee! sugar. That one. Can you pass me that? What is happening? We are making marshmallows.
Marshmallows!
We are now making marshmallows. Okay, so I need, what did I say? 340 grams of granulated sugar.
So you have it on a digital scale.
Yes, I do.
That's kind of cool to see the numbers go up. Ooh, getting close. 326. 337. 340.
We did
Wow,
it.
look at you. That's accurate. First left 2 hour walk.
We're not making it.
I'm this close, Panda, to making it. I'm hungry enough to make it. I could make it.
Okay, and then I'm going to use another half a cup of water. So I've got 340 grams of sugar, granulated sugar. I'm going to have another half cup of water. Yeah, a half cup of light corn syrup, which I don't know where my half cup is, but I'm going to give this a spray with some cooking spray. Oh, did you? Oh, okay, I see what you did. I thought you turned that to 350 and left them.
Bottom?
Yeah. We're gonna move them.
You said bottom 225.
Yeah. I thought you were a step ahead of me.
You said set the bottom at 225.
I know. I thought you were a step ahead of me and that you had put this at 350. And I was like, we left the nuts in the oven. Oh, no. Okay, I don't know where my half cup thing is. But in order to get like things like corn syrup, molasses, any kind of like paste, oil, if you spray your measuring cup or your measuring spoon with some cooking spray before you pour, it will come right out. So we're going to do that. I need a half a cup of this.
Warriors of Barstow post up. Nah, dude. I almost dunked in the game. I got fouled.
You got up from your nap and your cooking stream is still going? Yeah. It's because it's from Costco. That's why it's the biggest one. So now I've got, it's empty. It all came out. Yay. I'm a little nervous we're not going to make the biscotti in time. Well, I still have like other cookies and things to do. I honestly, I didn't expect it to not be able to just bake it. Let's go. Ugh. Gotcha. Okay. Ooh, buddy. Okay, and then we're gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I'm gonna bring this to a boil. When it hits 240, I am going to immediately turn off the heat, and I'm gonna start mixing it into my gelatin. Oh, you did? Cool. Okay, turn you on. I'm gonna turn it to an 8. And I also want to just give this a little mix. Oh, don't forget your sugar. Not sugar, this is salt. Don't forget your salt. Oh, it's fine. I'm fine. We're all fine. Okay. Now the last thing that I'm going to do to kind of get this prepped is I'm going to do a mixture of cornstarch and confectioner's sugar. What is it called in UK terms? It's powdered sugar, confectioner's sugar. There's a term for it.
Bakery.
No.
Extra fluffy.
Oh, that's not it. Whoops, maybe.
Extra granulated. White sugar?
There you go. Icing sugar.
Icing sugar. What?
Yeah. So you do a mixture of that, and basically what that does is it keeps the marshmallow from sticking to the sides of whatever container you're going to be forming it in. So I have these two containers. I'm not exactly sure how much this is going to make because this is a new recipe, so I'm just going to prep both of these. And the way that you prep your containers for marshmallows is by taking your cooking spray. I'm going to move over to the sink to do this because I don't want to make a mess. But you're basically going to spray the bottom and the sides with your cooking spray. Try to do a relatively light coat. And then it's a 1-to-1 ratio of cornstarch and confectioner's sugar, or icing sugar, excuse me. And they tell you to do that you only need like a half cup of it, but honestly, like I always make more because marshmallows are sticky and I don't feel like attempting to like only use a certain amount. Like I'm just going to use it. So we'll do a cup of each because whatever. But it's 1-to-1, however much you need. What's up? What? What are you seeing? What's going on?
That's being weird. Hold on.
Okay, so I'm going to mix this up. More water. Oops.
Come on. Okay, I'm caught up now.
What's the matter?
I'm good. Nah, just
Okay, so then what you do is you take your mixture
one weirdo.
and you're going to pour some of it into your pan. And then you're just kind of going to shake it around. You're going to do the sides. And then it's going to coat. And as it coats the bottom, when you pour your marshmallows in, and then it's going to stick to that powdered sugar. And it should, after it sets, just completely flop out. And you're not going to have any issues taking it out of your containers.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Yo.
Oops. I wanted to do this over the sink. We're doing it not over the sink. I'm making a mess. Sorry.
Gin!
I'm sorry. Okay. We're at 220.
Speaking of gin,
What about Jen? What? Who, Jen?
gin with the 62
Oh, no.
of tier 2, and also
I can't see chat.
gin.
Jen. My computer's decided to update.
No!
It says 4 minutes.
Rip, well, we still got the other TV.
Okay, so now I'm going to turn this up. I turned it down because it was freaking me out. It got a little too bubbly for me. Okay, so
Tier 2, gin. With a J.
okay, so I'm at about 226, almost 227. We're going to let it get even higher. And then once it hits 240, like I said, I'm gonna take a candy. Candy thermometers freak me out. It's like, I'm gonna go to pour it, and it's like, let's not do that.
Lottie said make it get even higher, but you said 240.
It's at 220 right now.
You want it to be 240?
Yeah.
To get even higher?
The temperature to be higher. What?
240. Get even higher.
I don't understand.
420.
Oh, okay. Sorry. This feels like it's there, and I don't know why my thermometer is not.
Onion sucks.
Saying it's 230. This feels higher than 240. My thermometer is not picking it up. Fun. No. Okay, we're at 233. We're spitting sugar over here. I'm slightly terrified for my life.
240 degrees of particulates.
Come on. $235, $236 and a half. Very close. We should be about there. $239. Super close. Come on. 240. And off we go. Okay. Okay, so this is the part where we get to be even more careful. You're going to put it on your lowest setting, and then you're going to pour your hot sugar into your gelatin mixture. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. And you kind of stand back and just let it happen.
Now, if that cools, it hardens.
What do you mean?
If that sugar cools, it'll harden.
No, this will turn into like a caramel consistency as it
Like
cools.
a molasses, like a
Yeah.
thicker,
Yeah.
viscous.
Yeah.
And you don't want that.
It'll be thicker than molasses.
Oh, wow. But you want it to be able to whisk it.
Yeah.
To put air in it?
Yes. We're gonna
It's too cool.
We're gonna whisk a ton of air into this, and I'm gonna let it go on slow until it cools down quite a bit. And then once I start to see it kind of foaming and getting a little thicker, then I'll go ahead and I'll turn it up. And this is gonna whisk for somewhere between 10 to 15 minutes. So like we're just gonna let it chill. Also, I need to mix these nuts, so let's do that too. Whoops. You don't have to turn that. I'm gonna literally. You don't have to do the camera.
Sure.
Yeah, because I'm gonna turn this and toss it back into the oven immediately.
Oh, yeah.
I'm almost done.
Flip it. Yeah.
I have no idea.
Oh, that's your computer.
Oh, cool. That's not what I wanted. Okay. We're still whisking. I got some more coating here. I may marry these bottles in a little bit. So the only ingredient left in the marshmallows and just straight vanilla marshmallows is vanilla. So once this starts to actually look like marshmallow fluff, you go ahead and you add in, so after about 10 minutes or so, you're gonna add in your vanilla. You're gonna add in a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm using vanilla bean paste because I like to see those, I'm bougie, right? I like to see those little vanilla seeds.
Bougie.
I know. So I'm gonna do that, and then once this is fully whipped, I'm gonna take the ganache out of the refrigerator, give it a little mix, and then I'm going to pour it into my warm marshmallow mixture, and I'm just gonna kind of fold it and mix it around in there until it marbleizes, and then I'm gonna pour it into my prepped containers to make my marshmallows so that they can set in there. I'm also going to run to the garage and get my biscotti, so my biscotti can cook for about 30 minutes in a 350-degree oven. It's okay. You're in the middle of guacamole. So you guys get to hear me like walk through my house and go through the garage and all that stuff. Okay. I toss this in the oven. And I'm going to prep my other pan, or not pan. You can do this like, depending on like how big you want your marshmallows to be, there's like a ton of different stuff you can do. You can pour them into molds. You can put them, I'm putting them in kind of like square, slightly deeper dishes because I want to have like big square marshmallows. If you put it on like a quarter sheet cookie tray or like baking tray, then you're gonna have like thinner marshmallows. You can make like cut up like hundreds of mini marshmallows for like hot chocolate or something like that. It really just depends. And then like even then, sometimes what I'll do, especially like with the kids, is I'll make like that sheet tray and then I'll let them take cookie cutters and cut out like marshmallows in shapes with like cookie cutters. Cause I've got like a bunch of different like snowflakes and bears and leaves, and they can like do all kind of like fall wintry kind of marshmallows if they want. So you can have fun with it.
Guacamole almost done.
Really? That was fast. Are you trying to prove people wrong?
Expedited 2-hour vlog. No, I'm going 3. 3 avocado.
3 avocados the way to go.
Gee. Oh, that only leaves one now. Never mind.
I can always buy more.
No, we only have one left. What are you going to do with one avocado?
I don't know. All right, that went in at
4.
2:30. Guys, we're not going to finish everything unless we stream later. We talked a lot today.
The cat's looking
Okay.
down.
No, I don't think so. Okay. Now that the biscotti are in the oven, I've got 30 minutes on those guys. I've got another 12 minutes on this, and our pecans are already in the oven. I'm gonna go ahead and start making the melomakarona. Macarona. There we are. And I'm just gonna start putting the ingredients where they need to go in bowls, so that once this mixer is freed up, I can go ahead and start incorporating, get those in the oven as well, and then start making those cookies in the syrup. Okay, cool.
Went 4.
Whoa, you decided to use all 4? Okay, good. My honey syrup is cold. Good. So now that the ganache has been sitting in the fridge, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's basically chilling. And once I put like a spoon in there and mix it around, it'll thin out a little bit. It's just because it's got like developed a crust on it. But this will be great for like kind of like melting in, like and folding in. Give this a little stir. If you let this chill even longer, then it would thicken even more. I personally like to put ganache in the middle of my macarons. I think they're delicious that way. Oh, good, you can see. So now you can see this is starting to turn like a white color. It's starting to fluff up. Still relatively warm. By the time, so we put, we had ice cold gelatin in here, right? Or gelatin mix. And then we had 240 degree sugar corn syrup mixture. By the time this is fully whisked, it should be about room temperature. That's basically where you're going for. So like right now it's probably about 105, 110 degrees. So it'll cool down and it'll be about room temperature, and the volume of it will have almost tripled in size. It's about ready for this in a little bit. Okay, let's start parsing out the ingredients that I need for these guys. So I'm going to do semolina flour, all-purpose flour, and baking soda into a separate bowl, and then I'm going to set that aside. And I'm going to need a lot of that. So we're going to use this guy here. It's about a half a cup of semolina flour. Oh yeah, she spread. I knew that was going to happen. Okay.
Done.
Wow, that was really fast. It's about 150 grams of super fine or fine ground semolina flour. Where's my, yeah.
New record.
Okay. And then we're gonna do 550 grams. Like I said, this makes a lot of cookies. We're gonna do 550 grams of all-purpose flour, which is the equivalent of about 4 1/3 cups of flour. Ooh. That's about 700 grams total. So I'm just gonna add flour until we get to 700 grams. And I knew this was gonna happen and that I would run out of flour. So I bought this guy. Because it's the holiday season and this is what we do. Okay, so this fluff is like, I'm getting pretty dang close to vanilla time. So it's a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm gonna go ahead and add that right now. I'm sorry? Not right now. I still can't look at anything that chat's saying. it said 4 minutes and now it says 33 minutes. Yay. That's what we get for not using a computer for like a year. It turns on, it's like, I need help. Exclamation point menu. Somebody said it. They're asking what I'm making. Oh, okay. Exclamation point menu if you're interested in what we're making and you don't really know what's going on. But I can also like just tell you. Okay, so right where we are now, we've made a honey syrup for some Greek Christmas cookies. We're basically baking. We're going to end up baking some cookies. We have not made them. That's what all of this is for right now. But they're going to come out of the oven and they're going to get dunked into that honey syrup. So that's going to kind of like probably happen second to last.
So fluffy.
And we've made a honey syrup and we've made a chocolate ganache, which I've kind of mixed here. And it's thickening by the second. This is it. I'm gonna have to microwave this to soften it up so it can go in the marshmallows. We made a chocolate ganache. We have some candied pecans roasting in the oven. I also have a ginger cardamom biscotti that is on its first bake in the oven. Biscotti are twice baked by. And so what we're doing with that is we're going to bake them, let it cool, then slice them, then bake them again, and then they'll get dipped in white chocolate. But right now this marshmallow mixture is almost done. And I am currently scooping flour until I hit 700 grams, which should be soon. Very soon. 700. We did it. Oh, my computer jumped to 18 minutes instead of 33.
I too am quite late.
Okay, and then so we've got semolina. We have 150 grams of fine semolina. It's about a half a cup. And then we have 550 grams of all-purpose flour, which is about 4 1/3 cups. And then we're also going to add a half a tablespoon of baking soda, which is all the way over here. Oop, that was a lie. I always double check. I always double check because I go too fast. Not baking soda, baking powder. Do not mix them up. Baking powder. Oh, and it's also supposed to be a half tablespoon. If I could read instructions, those are looking good. Okay. And then salt is a half a teaspoon.
Have you ever messed up baking soda and baking powder?
No, because I double check.
Never.
I don't think so.
What would happen?
I did. I have messed up salt measurements before. Well, I was cooking with someone. No, I've never mixed salt and sugar.
No.
I was cooking with someone, and it was supposed to be a half teaspoon. And I don't know if I read 2 teaspoons or if he read 2 teaspoons. It was so salty. It was so salty. I couldn't do it. Okay.
Whoa.
So we're gonna mix this up, nice and incorporated. Okay. We're gonna need a 1/3 cup of orange juice. Which is roughly...
You're telling me, Swirl. You're telling me.
What?
Salty as the Desi community after yesterday's swab.
Ooh. 90... 115 or 115 milliliters of orange juice. Yay, we did it. Probably need another little bowl. Pardon me. What? I may need more orange, hun. Whoop. Nope, that's a lie. I said 100. What? 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 That's good. This marshmallow's done. Alright, this is done. So that's what your marshmallow is gonna look like when it's done. Nice and fluffy. This is hardened since I took it out of the refrigerator. What is up? Okay. I'm gonna stick this in the pop this in the microwave for just a little bit. Not even close. We're doing it. I still can't read chat, but I love you guys. No. I see letters.
Well, that's all you need to be words.
But I don't see like individual situations where like I actually know what people are saying. Yay, my computer turned on. I know this is a little more melted than I wanted it to be, but that's okay. We can work with it. Okay, so this is a pretty good consistency. It's like kind of like a sour cream consistency. I guess if I were going to come up with like a comparison. Okay. So marshmallows set super fast. Like they tell you that you have to have them sit for like 3 hours or overnight. I don't know if we want like dollops or something for hot chocolate later. Yeah, you can. But like it's already like relatively set. So like it sticks and then it just starts to kind of set. It's about 3 hours before you can slice into it. I prefer to leave it like overnight out on the counter and just let it really kind of like hang out and chill. But that's basically what it takes. So let me,
Oh, that's good.
I'm gonna move this out of the way.
Oh.
Excuse me. I'm gonna mix this in. Ooh. Not a fan. When did I put that in? At 2:30? It's only been 15 minutes.
We don't make mistakes.
Hey, hon, do you want to mix these up for me, the pecans? Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm basically gonna take this. I want to do it as as warm as this is. The marshmallow is. I don't want it to cool off. I don't want it to set. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to just dunk that in, and then I'm going to just fold. And I want it to like marbleize, kind of like that. Let's keep going. Now, what is going to happen if you want to make these, just fair warning, is that the chocolate is going to and that's it, I'm done. It's marbleized, I don't want to mix it. There are going to be places where that ganache is like a thick chunk of ganache, and the marshmallow is gonna like start melting and kind of falling apart a little bit when you cut it, but like I don't care. So that's how that goes. Let's get these turned out. One. And like sometimes I'll break this up. So like I might have in the past like taken some of that vanilla out and mixed it with ganache, and then like left some in the bowl and thrown in some like peppermint. I've done, what other flavors have I done? I did one that tasted kind of like Sprite one year. That was kind of fun. I don't know, you could do like chai spiced ones. You could like, it's marshmallows just like bread and eggs and potatoes and like whatever else. Like you can kind of just add flavor, like whatever flavor you want it to be, you can add it.
Waiting for the holiday treats by Kari website to go live. Is your computer on?
Yeah. I'm going to lick the spoon clean. Nice. So now we're just going to see how it's like not sticking to the edges. We're kind of just going to chill with that now. And that's going to sit. And that's going to turn into marshmallows. Did you
log in?
do the pecans yet?
I did.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'm gonna eat
Your
this.
chat's back.
I'm gonna eat it. Oh my god.
Chat's back, man.
Oh my god. F word. It's so good. Now I have. Okay.
We had to restart. Paperwork.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
I heard it over there.
Okay. I have some leftover.
Barbarian Dave, thanks for resub.
I have some leftover mix of the cornstarch and the icing sugar, or powdered sugar, or confectioner's sugar, or whatever you want to call it. I'm just gonna set this aside and leave it out on the counter. What's gonna happen is when you go to cut those marshmallows at a later, this is why I make more than I need. So I make whatever to coat the pan that they're gonna be in, but then when you go to cut the marshmallows, I'll put in like a shallow like sheet pan, like a little guy, or even just like a plate or something like that. Every strip that you slice, like you're gonna want your knife coated in some of this, so that the marshmallow doesn't stick to the sides of your knife. And then you're also going to want to kind of like put those edges that you've just cut into this mixture. So again, it's not sticking. And you can make whatever kind of squares and things that you want. So those are, again, like I said, those are just gonna sit there. And then we're gonna put together our other stuff. I'm keeping this. I'm not putting this by the sink for him to clean because I just want to eat it. Can I just keep eating?
You're done with this?
Damn. I don't want to be done with it. Can I like scrape the bowl clean and eat the ganache? Yeah, you can either coat the knife in cooking spray, or you can coat it in that mixture. Whatever you need that's just gonna keep that marshmallow from sticking to it is like really all that you have to use. Okay. So I've got my flour mixture for my melomakarona. I've got some 150 grams of semolina flour, fine semolina flour. I've got 550 grams of all-purpose flour. I have a half a teaspoon of salt and a half a tablespoon of baking powder. And then, let's see, I'm going to Okay, so now I'm gonna do a larger bowl that includes about a third a cup or 100 grams. It's not grams, it's about, okay, so a third a cup, let's see, is about 3.5 ounces, which is the equivalent of 90 plus 15, 105 milliliters of orange juice. Don't know why this person put grams.
That's fast math.
So I've got about 105 milliliters of orange juice. I'm going to use 3 tablespoons, which here we go again, is about 45 milliliters of cognac. The recipe calls for brandy, but like if you're going to do brandy, you can use any brandy you want. I'm sure it's just for that like orangey, clovey, like really nice deep grape flavor. Fruity flavor that you get out of brandies. Cognac is kind of like champagne, where it's like all cognacs are brandy, but not all brandies are cognac. It has to be from a certain region in France, or it can't be cognac. This is Kirkland brand cognac. It is delicious. Because everything I buy is Kirkland brand.
That's Kirkland brand cognac?
Yeah. Yeah, 1-to-1. That's true. I guess I didn't think about that. If you're gonna do fluid, then it should be in milliliters. Like I know that it's the same. Like the number should be equivalent, but also like honestly though, she just has 100. She has 100. She's 100 grams, but that's not what 3.5 ounces is. She's like this person's like listed out a couple of different things, and it's not the same.
Why is it in such a weird shape? It's like the most inefficient shape.
Well, have you seen the Remy Martin ones? They're like circular. Okay. I don't know what kind of bowl that I need for this. Did you start putting bowls away?
Yeah.
Okay, can I get the green one? What time is it? Is it 3?
Can I get the green one?
Oh, that's the blue one. Where's the green one? I didn't look. Stop it. You're making me get it out myself, sous chef. Okay. This needs to come out of the oven.
It is 3 o'clock.
Yeah. Okay.
Looks like a cheap, oversized cologne bottle.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is my biscotti. It did spread. It's a little flatter than I'm used to seeing, but it looks really nice. I'm gonna let this rest. It has to cool down before I can cut into it, or it's just gonna kind of collapse. You want everything to cool up and kind of harden.
Are you done with this?
I mean, yes, but no. Can I still eat it?
Or you just want to like straight up spoon it?
Yeah, I want to keep eating it. Is that a bad thing?
Yeah, it tastes terrible.
Actually, you know what? We'll do this. I don't know where the other mixing bowl went. Oh, you're holding it. I'm stupid. It's fine. I'm not paying attention. Okay. I need this because everything's going to end up going into this bowl by the end. Okay. So I'm going to put my liquids in here, which is basically my orange juice, my cognac, whatever spices, and then whatever, and then the oils that are going to go in with it are all going to go into there. That sounds absolutely gross.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so we're gonna do the orange juice. Cognac is 3 tablespoons. Let me grab that. I'm using fresh squeezed orange juice because that's what this recipe called for. I don't actually like using fresh squeezed orange juice in baking recipes where it's making like a cookie or a bread, and it involves baking soda. I'd rather use store-bought orange juice because there's more citric acid in it, and I think that it gives a more fluffy texture to whatever you're baking. But this is the first time I'm making this recipe, so we're gonna go off of what they're telling me to do. And then it's also saying to add the spice mixture, your spices, your cinnamons, your cloves, things like that, into the liquid. I would typically add that to my dry ingredients. So we're just gonna see how this goes. And then, I don't know, go from there. So I'm going to need, let's see, I'm gonna need a tablespoon of powdered cinnamon, a third teaspoon, seriously, of nutmeg, third teaspoon of clove, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. So we're gonna need some ground cloves. We're gonna need some cinnamon. You see my teaspoon? Anywhere? Thanks, babe. Gracias. You're a fan of this shirt? I am a fan of this shirt too. I'm in the wrong direction. I hit it. Yay. It's mimosa, not mimosa. These are rough estimates. Basically what I'm doing is I'm taking the longer side and I'm going a little less than half of my teaspoon. So precise. Okay, I need my extract. Get a teaspoon of vanilla extract.
Dish boy duties are done.
Oh, wait. That said a flat tablespoon of powdered cinnamon, and I just put in a third teaspoon because that was supposed to be nutmeg, my B. I'm not sure that I have. Oh, I do have ground nutmeg. I like to use fresh nutmeg. We're gonna like microplane here a little bit. Let's do it.
Microplane?
Yeah.
Well done.
Okay, where did my cinnamon go? Let's get back to this. Let's fix this.
Smell it. That's a lot.
Okay, so we've got cloves, nutmeg, and cinnamon in our stuff here, and then I'm gonna add in a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Oh. Thank you, chat.
What?
Someone said nut check. And they were right. These are about done. Take them off. Those are done. They're good. Okay. Back to what we were doing. Okay. So I have everything but my sugar in here. I need 100 grams of sugar, which I don't fully have. And I knew that was going to happen. Can you grab me that huge bag of sugar? Actually, I love cooking with a kitchen scale.
How much do you need?
100 grams. If I actually...
You're going to make it. You're going to make it.
All right.
That was like a gram.
We can empty, it's like 2. We can empty that into that later. I can't believe I made it. I really thought I was going to need extra sugar. I really thought I was going to need extra sugar today, guys. That made me so happy right there.
Rip off the top for you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. I was thinking about grabbing a whisk, but I'm just going to do this. If I had any leftover citric acid, I'd probably add some in here, to be honest. But, okay, that smells super good. So now what I'm going to do is I've got most of this wet mixture in here. I'm going to add some baking powder. And I actually am going to need my stand mixer again over here. So let me go ahead and get that set up, because the second that I add that baking powder, not baking powder, already baking powder in the flour, the baking soda, my mistake, I apologize. The second I add in the baking soda, it's gonna start to foam. I'm gonna wanna add in my dry ingredients pretty quickly and then get them scooped and in the oven relatively quickly, so that both the baking powder and the baking soda have time to make the cookie rise. The longer that you let something sit when you're mixing an acid with a baking soda, the less rise and more tight, like crumb, you're gonna get in whatever you're baking. Okay. I'm on my knees. I'm actually 9/11. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna add baking soda, and then we're gonna add our oils. And our oils are gonna be about 1/2 cup of each, olive oil, and then some kind of like light flavored high smoke point oil. So you're gonna use like sunflower oil or grapeseed oil or something along the lines of that. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this sucker. If I'm doing high smoke point stuff, I usually use canola oil, which probably could have worked here, but again, I'm following the instructions. Need another bigger bowl than that. Okay, so let's do...
Kari deserves her own cooking show.
No.
Not with that attitude.
Not with that attitude. Okay. Let's change my... There we go. Okay, so they're saying 125 grams, milliliters of each of these. So I'm going to go ahead and just glug them in. You want to do this?
Nope.
Hey.
I just hate like tin candy pecans.
They're good. Okay. So I've got about 250 grams of olive oil, of a mixture of olive oil and grapeseed oil. I'm gonna put my baking soda in here. Then the olive oil is gonna go in immediately after that. And then the flour mixture is gonna start going in immediately after that. Now this says, oh, it also needs, oh, I need more stuff. Did we put the honey away? I need 50 grams of honey. We need more stuff in this mixture, jeez. Okay, we can keep going. Okay, so I need 50 grams. $250. I'm going to 300. Okay, and then it's saying I also need about 90 milliliters of water. Here she is, milliliters here. 90 milliliters of water.
Did she switch?
Yeah, she switched.
Is between imperial and metric?
No, she just switches between liquid volume and like a dry volume.
Or liquid ingredients?
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna try to whisk this up a little bit. I've got really tiny whisks that we can use. Ha-ha! Super tiny whisk. Why she keeps saying grams and milliliters? Because some people here aren't American. And because baking, honestly, it's so precise.
That was a joke.
Oh, okay. Baking is so precise that you really should.
Not posted a picture of a cowboy American. Why
Oh,
she
okay.
keep saying grams and milliliters?
Okay, got it. Smells like a cocktail. Okay,
Well, it could be this.
no, it's this. I need the baking soda. So I'm gonna use a half a tablespoon of baking soda.
Oh, that smells great. That's like an aromatic.
Which is about 7.5 grams. Oh, well, that didn't work. This is the baking soda I use. Because again, Costco, and I use it to clean my floors.
Wait, could you pour?
And-
This is a cleaning.
No,
Don't we use this for cleaning?
everything. You can use this for anything.
But we
Baking soda is a catch-all.
But we use this
It's
in
the
our,
panacea of my life.
Okay, how much do we pour this in our mop when our mop?
I put about a cup of this into
when
my
we
when I
when we
mop,
mop
the
the
floors.
floors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this cleaning my stomach?
Yeah, kind of, I guess. Okay, so this should froth up just a little bit,
We have that same bag.
which it's doing now. So it's turning like this light brown. You see this light brown color? It's frothing. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in this remaining liquid.
Brush your teeth with it? Wait.
Yeah, you can brush your teeth with baking soda and peroxide. Okay. And then we're going to start adding this in.
Fridge deodorizer. Oh.
Oh, I needed, can you zest some oranges for me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, chef.
I should do that. I missed a step.
Wait. You have one.
Yes, we do. They're in the basket.
Two? One?
Yeah. I should have had you zest when you were squeezing to zest and then squeeze out the oranges that you had before. I don't want to put too much of this flour in.
Cut them away.
I know. I don't want to put too much of this flour in because then the zest won't mix in properly. So we got to go, or here. Let's do it fast. Sorry, I took it away from you.
Here, can you zest this? Never mind. I'll do it. Paid actors making the game time calls. Audible.
Yeah, I was like, I called an audible. Give it to me.
Omaha.
Do we have like?
What?
You hand me like a crap orange.
Oh, who bought the crap orange?
Nobody. Your mom brought them yesterday.
Did she?
Well, the outside of it is probably like the inside probably
where?
tastes great. I guess your Uncle Mike's. These are all fresh oranges picked right off the tree yesterday.
From
She said that was picked at 11 o'clock. It's probably
has-
perfect.
I didn't know Mike has oranges on his tree.
I didn't either.
You thought she got me by saying your mom?
Yeah.
No, literally your mom. These oranges are literally from your mom.
They're literally from his mom. She brought them yesterday. Okay. Let me start adding this in again. So this is going to be a pretty wet dough.
Holiday tummy, no.
And we want to be very careful not to incorporate this too much. Like, you want this to like barely come together. And then just stop.
Ooh, it's getting slow.
Yep.
It's getting slow.
There's a lot of flour. I was like looking at all the liquid going, oh God, it's so much. We've got so much liquid in this, but there's also 700 grams of dry ingredients.
Oh, buddy.
Okay, so I'm not even gonna let this finish incorporating with the mixer. I'm gonna use a spoon or a spatula to finish this out. So this dough, it cannot be overworked. The first time that I made this, it was a different recipe. I think this is a better recipe that I found. But the first time that I made this, there was no instruction about working the dough, and I overworked it, and the honey does not bake or like seep, not seep, what's the word I'm looking for? The honey just doesn't soak into the cookies as well if the dough is overworked. So we have to be careful about it.
When is it due, Rockabilly? About 5 a.m. tomorrow.
Get a spoon. Should really use a spatula. I don't know where any of my...
Wash everything and put everything back in the normal spot.
Oh, okay. So I could just go back into the drawer and it would be there for me.
Spatula?
That's okay.
Fine.
Okay, so I'm going to try a technique that I also saw in like a YouTube video for shaping these. That's perfect.
Rechical, what is that emote? Is that a lull and a lull?
Can you move this back there, please? Okay. I'm going to turn off of my lower oven.
You plugged in or you done with it?
Cancel lower. 355 to the top.
Done with
I'm
it?
sorry? I'm done with it, yeah. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do these about an ounce at a time. Do need a baking sheet.
That's terrible. Are there any cocktails not on the menu today? I'm looking for inspiration. Well, we just had a French 75 with...
I don't know what you want. Can I have that pan? Yeah, it's a ginger cranberry French 75 is what we just drank. I just need the cookie sheet that's on the bottom. Sorry. I had a feeling that was going to happen, that I was going to make you do something completely unnecessary for no reason. Or for a good reason. I need it for cookies. Okay. And then if you want to pour those into a bowl or something like that, I'll need that cookie sheet too.
Bowl?
Sure. Yeah, that works. You might want to take some of the flour out of that though. Okay, I'm going to move these out of the way. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of shape these cookies. And I'm trying to make some space so you guys can like have a little bit of access to a visual of what I'm doing, not just from the one camera, but also from the front. move this a little out of the way. Okay, hey, that's a little better. So basically what I'm gonna do now, a lot of people will use a fork to do this. I'm gonna use a cookie sheet, like the sheet that you would use to like cool your, like a cooling cookie rack, whatever you wanna call it. To kind of shape this, I'm gonna kind of like roll it, kind of like you would roll like a gnocchi dough, to make ridges, so that when I dump the baked cookie into the honey, it soaks into the ridges of the cookie and better holds that honey, instead of it just being like a flat cookie. So sometimes people will like press it with a fork. Sometimes people will literally like poke holes in it with a fork. I'm gonna try this, see how it goes for the first couple. If it works, then it works. If not, then I'll probably go to using a fork. Okay, so you want about like an ounce helping for each cookie. So I'm using a cookie scoop because that makes it easier. These are gonna be shaped kind of like eggs. Where's the cup? There we go. A little bit better? Not better. I am so bad at this. Where does this need to be? There we go. There we go. It's gonna be kind of egg-shaped. So kind of like when you get like a Reese's. There you go. So there you go. So that's the first one. There you go. And it's got just like a little bumpy design on it. But I'm going to use a cookie scoop so that they're all uniform in size. Yes, these are the melomakarona. And these are a Greek Christmas cookie. We're basically going to bake these in the oven. And then as soon as they come out hot, we're going to take them off of the tray. And we're going to dip them in a cold honey syrup that we made earlier today. So I'm gonna like do the first batch of these. And then I'm going to, as soon as these are in the oven, I'm going to cut up the biscotti. You probably won't get to see me dip the biscotti today. But you'll at least get to see me cut it up and like get it ready for the oven. I am not sure how far apart these need to be spread on a cookie sheet. There's quite a bit of oil in these. I don't feel like they're gonna spread that much, but like who knows? Okay, so I'm just pressing down, and an egg. Yay! What kind of cookie scoop is this? It says patent pending. I have no idea. I just got it from a local kitchenware shop in town. I've got one for like tiny cookies, and then I've got one for these that are like kind of a normal size cookie. Okay. Here we go. How many test runs have I done? None. I did a test run of these with a different recipe a while back, and they did not turn out well. I think that the recipe was a little bit more like anglicized for ease of use. And I did not like them. They did not taste the way that I was used to. Well, it means that like somebody just made it easier and they didn't actually stick to the traditional form of the recipe.
Like Anglo-Saxon?
No, like Americanized, like whitewashed. Wow! Shots fired. I made them and it was not as traditional of a recipe as this one is. No, there is no wheat in these cookies. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a little worried these are going to be huge. I think I'm gonna space these ones out a little bit more. These are gonna be like really big cookies. I'm thinking that I might get the smaller one out and the second batch be like smaller cookies. All right, let's do. Okay. These are going in the oven at 355. There we go. Which I believe is about 180 Celsius. Let's see, for 15 to 20 minutes. I'm doing a great job. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to attempt to make smaller ones of these.
Dish Boy's doing a great job, too.
Dish Boy is doing a great job. Look at you. Okay, I'm gonna pull out my chilled syrup. It takes, if you're gonna do this on a countertop, it takes about 4 hours for this syrup to cool down. And that's just way too long. So like, we're not gonna do that. We put that in the refrigerator. There you go, honey. Okay. Now I've got my biscotti here. This is gonna look a little crazy. So if you're gonna do a biscotti, I would suggest you do it on a cookie sheet, which is basically flat. This obviously is not that. This is a cake sheet pan. The sides are high. You cannot cut your biscotti. Also, I have it on a silpat, which I cannot cut on, or else I will like cut through it, and then that defeats the purpose of having it. So I use crazy instruments in order to take my biscotti off of my silpat so that I can get it onto a cutting board. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this palette knife, this is a cake knife, and I'm going to run it along the bottom of that to make sure. If I had 2 cake palette knives, that would have been way easier, but I don't, so we're just gonna do this. And there we go. And so I just moved that to my cutting board, and now I can cut into this and chop away to my heart's content. And we can go ahead and start cutting and shaping these biscotti. So, little biscotti. I'm doing it again. She looks fancy. She looks good. This is, I'm going to cut these to about 3/4 of an inch to an inch thick. And then these are going to go for a second bake. So right now they're kind of like a cakey texture. And I want that, dang it, I want that to dry out. If I would have cut this when it came right out of the oven, then it would have just immediately squished. You have to let these rest for at least 30 minutes before you cut into them, or you will not have biscotti. Your last attempt at bread. Was your yeast not good? Wasn't I supposed to eat the end piece? Yeah. Yeah, I was. I'm gonna be good. So Some of these are super long.
They do exist.
You're like, wait a minute. They're not all just straight sliced. What's going on here? Okay, and so what I'm doing now, you can see that I'm making my cuts. I'm just spacing them out. You want air to cook both sides of the cut biscotti. You want it to basically come in and bake all sides of that so that it dries it out. A little bit of that ASMR.
You worry for your teeth hard. Not that hard.
I don't usually cook my biscotti that hard. I don't like when you get them prepackaged in a store, and they're really, really tough. But I do like them to have a crunch to them. I like the outside to be crunchy and the inside to be just a little bit soft. Yeah. This works. Okay, so now these are going to go back in the oven. You're going to lower your oven from 350 to 325, and they're going to go in and they're going to bake for another 20, 25 minutes. Lep is not 7'3", he is 6'2". I am 5'3". There is a significant difference in our heights. That's why it looks weird.
It doesn't look weird.
Here. That's so good. Okay. Let me get this in the garbage. So the thing about the biscotti, so you're feeling that ginger. The ginger kind of sneaks up on you.
It's not sneaking up. It's right there.
It builds. So
Boom.
you're eating it and you're like, oh yeah, I can taste the ginger. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, that's kind of hot. So depending on how much you like ginger, you can just make these as is. You can dip them in the white chocolate, which that fat and the milk solids in the white chocolate will mellow out the heat of the ginger to just that much. And then you can decide if you like it there or not and just eat them same day. If you want them to mellow out even more, just wait 2 days before you start eating them, because as they age, the ginger will mellow. And so it depends on just how much you want that ginger flavor.
You love ginger.
I like ginger. You have the ginger beard, but your hair is brown, right? I still haven't finished my first drink.
Choo, I'm on my fourth.
You're on your fourth? That was supposed to be for other people when they came too.
Other people?
Not just you. Yeah.
Chad's coming over?
No, friends.
We have friends?
We have so much stuff baked. You're not gonna you don't want them included in any of this? Okay.
We have another bottle of Prosecco in the fridge.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do. Okay. All right, nobody else is texting me. Cool. Okay, so these are about done. The melomakarona are about done. I'm gonna take them out in a second. Let's get a little peeky at the bottoms. I'm gonna take them out in a second, and then I'm going to dump them into my honey here. And I don't know where I'm going to put them after that. Let me get a plate.
That was this, right?
Yes. Okay.
I'm trying to get.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. And then I do. These are actually, they did not spread. They puffed up nicely. Thank you, baking soda. But I do want to use a smaller. They're a little bit bigger than I want them to be. So I'm going to use a smaller cookie, which I don't know where it is. baking drawer? It is. We're gonna use a smaller one.
Gamba if Let breaks the dish.
Nah, he won't. He's good.
Smashville. She makes food like this every day. She doesn't wash dishes as much as me.
That's true. I empty
clean?
the dishwasher quite a bit. But you're right. I don't typically wash dishes. That's very true.
We can't have her wasting her skills and her valuable time on washing dishes. Dish boy's job to wash the dishes.
Shout out to baking soda. You work for the company that owns Arm & Hammer? Yes.
Leff's confidence is growing with his drink. I'm always this confident, baby.
He's always this confident. Lepp has like no shame or filter or whatever. He just is like good the way he is, which is what I like about him.
Crested the bomber peak. Multiple bomber peaks.
Okay, so again, I'm taking little scoops of this. I'm making the indentations using the cooling tray, the cooling rack, and then putting them down. And there, I'm just rolling them into kind of an oblong egg shape and then pressing them down. And you can make that egg shape kind of skinnier because the second you start pressing it down, it's going to spread out. Yes, he knows how to wash a counter and a stovetop. And our stovetop is induction, so he doesn't need to like take any elements apart or do anything crazy. Like the most he might need is like Barkeeper's Friend or something like that. Those are very nearly done. Put the dishes outside and use a pressure cleaner to wash them. Yeah, that may break something. If you really want to break a dish, that may be how to do it. Yeah, I like this size a lot better. They have numbers on them. Where are you? This is a size 50. I'm not sure if that's helpful. The first scoop I was using had a number 24 on it. This one has a size 50 on it. For anybody that actually knows what that means, cool. Hopefully that's helpful to you. You really wanted a gas range, but induction starts to sound really good. I know. I'm telling you.
That smooth top.
It's super awesome. I don't know why I get it, but I don't know why everybody thinks gas is so cool.
Heat is heat.
All right, I think these are going to have to come out. Does anybody have any questions about anything we did today? Because I know we did a lot today. You can still use the gas if the power's out. I have a gas grill. So we have a hookup to the gas line, to the city gas line here at the house, and I have a gas grill. So if the power, and we have a generator. We have a whole house generator. So if the power goes out, I still have a cooktop. But I also have a gas grill hooked up to the house.
Your mom says, save me some.
There will be plenty.
What's that sauce next to you?
This sauce is a honey syrup that we made earlier. It's essentially a double simple syrup or rich simple syrup. I think it's called rich simple syrup, where it's 2-to-1 sugar to water. And then it's got honey, cinnamon, clove, and orange in it. and it's chilled so that when I take the cookies out of the oven, I'm going to dunk the cookies in them. And this syrup is going to soak into the cookies and make them nice and, worst word in the world, moist.
I love cooking with gas. I feel like I have more control of the heat.
Yeah. I've cooked.
Disagree.
I disagree with that on a little bit, but I understand. I mean, like being able to control the open flame is like nice. It's really cool and it's nice and I get it. And I know a lot of people who also feel that way. For me, it's not about controlling the open flame. It's about controlling off. So like
low heat.
Yeah, like low heat. Like there's always a flame on a gas cooktop unless it's off. And as far as I'm concerned, if there's fire, low is simmer. Like there's no like, I'm just keeping this warm. Like there's no just warm setting. And so like for me, if something boils over, I can immediately turn off my cooktop, move the pan away or the pot away, wipe the cooktop clean. It'll be hot, but it's not gonna like burn me hot.
Well,
and then put it
off the fire
and put it back on. No, but the element that it's heated up is hot. That's hot. Like there's no friction. There's nothing there that's going to burn anything. So
Niels asks, what Dutch oven is down in the corner? That's a Le Creuset.
Yeah, it's a Le Creuset Dutch oven. These are not yet done.
Rockabilly asks, how tall is Lep?
All right, these are not done. They feel done.
You didn't hear me, did you?
How tall is Lip?
It was Rockabilly. That's why it's fun.
Because he's actually met you in person and knows exactly how tall you are. Okay, I don't think those are done. They feel like they would cool to done, but I'm gonna go ahead and just like dip them in and have a little fun, and we'll find out what it turns into. So these dip for 10 to 20 seconds.
Is there a method to cheese all this? Yeah, store-bought. When are we sitting in chat some? Next time.
So you want it to be kind of dunked for 10 to 20 seconds. And you can kind of turn it. You want it to get on both sides, which is why I got myself a plate, because they're going to get kind of messy.
Does cast iron scratch your induction?
No. And how are you using your cast iron? I've never had a problem with it. I have cast iron. But I use a carbon steel pan.
Did you coat the tops of the marshmallows with powder mixture, or do they dry out?
They dry out.
Grumpy guy.
Okay, so that guy's soaked. We're gonna let him chill for a couple minutes.
Chill.
And then we're gonna open him up and see how he did.
Kari, are you Greek, or is it just a good recipe you found?
It's just a good recipe I found.
She's Polish.
Yeah, I'm Polish. We have a Greek food festival that happens every year here in town. And we didn't go this year. And they have a pastry section every year. And these are one of the cookies that I have to get. And because we didn't go, it's all I've been thinking about. And I found a recipe last year and attempted it. And it was not, I don't think it was a traditional recipe. Was not a fan of how it turned out. So I found this one. I think this one is a more traditional recipe. And I'm attempting it now. So you heard it here first. I think this is just a better recipe, and no, I'm not Greek. How is Lep not 400 pounds? He doesn't eat until dinner.
Well, I've been eating all day. Walking these streets.
What is my favorite filling for pierogies? Farmer's cheese and potatoes.
Yes.
Followed by the Americanized American cheese and potatoes, and then sauerkraut. Sauerkraut's so good, though. All of them are good. What ancestry does Lep have? English and some Viking something or other that you talk about, but I don't know exactly where from. What?
Dutch and German.
Oh, really? Why do you always say English? Okay. The one time he mentioned it to me that I remember, he said English. I was so wrong. Look at that. Wife gets answer wrong. Hey, can we put it into the command? You love sauerkraut. Sauerkraut's so good. Apalachicolan. Only Florida man. Dutch, Amish, and German. Look at Lone Soldier going. All right, those feel a little bit better. So what's kind of like I'm unsure with this recipe, what's kind of making me a little unsure is the fact that these are like much more cake-like than the last ones that I did. The last ones that I had done were like kind of like shortbready, which is the texture that I was anticipating, but it was like overworked and kind of tough. So like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm going to break into this, see how this does. That's nice, but it's definitely underbaked. Definitely needs to be baked longer. I'm going to wait till these brown a little bit more on the bottom, I think. We're almost there. I think the thing is these ones are a lot bigger than I think they were supposed to be. The recipe said this was the right size, but I don't think it was, which is why I switched to the smaller ones. Yeah, this is 2. We'll cook the smaller ones and see how they do. Sauerkraut is good for you, but you can't get past the taste. Can you like eat it with something? So like if you did it in like a Reuben, or can you, so like when we do sauerkraut, we kind of sweeten our sauerkraut. So like we will fry it to brown it and get a little bit of that like caramelized, like burnt kind of flavor in there. But we also, if we're making it like traditional style, we'll add apple to it to sweeten it up just a little bit. So it's not like purely acidic.
Have you watched
That may
the
help.
Great British Bake Off on Netflix?
Yeah, of course I have.
Yeah, of course you have.
Come on. Come on. Yes, I have. All of them. And I've watched The Chef Show, and I've watched Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat, and I've watched Chef's Table. What?
Salt, fat.
Acid, Heat.
Oh, I said salt, fat ass heat. Great British Bake Off. That's the one with old Greg, right?
Yeah.
What's his name?
I love that you, Noel.
Noel, yeah.
He actually like referenced it once in like, I want to say it was like season 7 or something like that. And it was so good.
Mighty Boosh. Thoughts on the current season of Great British Bake Off, GBBO? Thoughts? Yeah, no thoughts?
So I feel like
I'm old Greg.
I feel like it's just as entertaining.
Uh-oh.
But like, well, they're getting slack because they're not providing like vegan options for people that are coming in. So they're like bringing in people who cook that are like gluten-free or vegan, so they're not using butter or milk or eggs. And then they're like not really giving them an opportunity, like it's, I don't know why you would bring someone on that cooked in a completely different style and wasn't didn't allow themselves to use certain ingredients and then expect the same texture, flavor, like whatever. Like it's so much harder to get those, to get that like, just to get the bake the way that it was originally intended with certain ingredients you're no longer using. And
they're making it harder.
They're
on the
making it,
but then
yeah.
still
So it's like
roasting them for not being as
right. So it's like harder on these contestants that are coming and doing it, and then I don't know. Like so, like I feel bad in those situations. And then like what happens is like if they're actually vegan, when they do it, like what's called a technical, it's decided for them what they're going to be doing, and the ingredients that you're given are the ingredients you're given. So every technical, except for I think one so far in the season, has not been vegan. And so the vegan cook that was in there, or baker that was in there, was making everything vegan when she could, and then when they got to the technical, she had to just use the ingredients. They didn't give her the ingredients so that she could make it different.
This season, I thought she was allowed
Yeah.
to use whatever she needed. They eliminated the
They
vegan
did.
baker before the free
yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
The irony was pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, the irony was unfortunate. That's true. That's true.
Yikes.
Yeah, so like, yeah, they had a vegan baker when they did their first challenge and then their last challenge. So it was, I think, a signature and it's a signature and then a star. What is it called? Like, ugh, dang it, I can do it. Showstopper. So they did a signature and the showstopper sandwiched in between as a technical. So on the first and the last bake, she did what she wanted with the ingredients she wanted. But when you got a technical, because everything needs to be judged, and if you have one person using different ingredients than everybody else, then it's not going to taste the same, it's not going to look the same. And how do you grade that if you have no base? Like, I feel like, and a lot of people were giving them slack for not giving her vegan ingredients on a technical, but like, you have no control. Like, any of these people obviously don't partake in science because like, you need that control in order to understand the differences and like who was doing what this like a certain way. Yeah, and so like, it makes sense to me on the technical, and they are giving them a really hard time about it, but like, I understand why they needed to do that, and honestly, like, she signed on to the show knowing, hey, I can bring awareness to well-baked things that taste really good, that have really good texture, you know, and like, then do that. I'm just going to do that on these two things and not on this middle thing. Like, you have to know. You have to know you're going to have to use butter and you're going to have to use eggs and you're going to have to do whatever on a challenge that involves everybody. They're not all going to immediately all cook vegan every time because you're there. So like, I think it was a non-starter. I think it was a silly thing for people to get really, really upset about because I'm sure she knew from the start and everybody just needs to make drama.
Whoa.
But like, yeah, I mean, it's a great show.
All right, Kari's shirt says, it's mimosa, not mimosa.
Yes.
Meaning from Harry Potter.
Yes. It's
movie 2?
No.
1.
Yes.
1. From the very first book movie, when they're in the charms class and Flitwick has them trying to levitate shit. Mm-hmm. It's Leviosa, not Leviosa. Yes. So it's mimosa.
Confirmed you can buy it on Etsy. Thank you,
not
Bruce
mimosa,
Rules.
big A.
Thank you.
The emphasis has to be on the right syllable.
Yes, it does.
There you go. Boom. Done.
Kari accusing a reality show of not being real. Yeah. I did do that. You're right.
Wait, HBO Max has Harry Potter special on New Year's Day? Well, what's it? What
They're having the cast come back and talk about like the show or the movies.
I'm reading Harry Potter books to Luke every night, about 30 minutes a night. We're currently on book 4, Goblet of Fire. We just passed the point where Rita Skeeter just roasted Hagrid in the Daily Prophet.
Okay.
He's sad about it.
Aww. Close. No cigar. Very close. I'm taking
Spoilers!
Hot.
All right, Goblet of Fire came out like 2 decades ago.
Watch yourself. And it goes, so the cookies have to go into the cooled honey as soon as they come out of the oven, or the honey's not going to soak into them.
Luke is 6 years old. He doesn't need pictures. He'll just listen to me read. He asks questions. I really explain things that I know are complicated.
Yeah, you like really, you're so patient with him and that kind of stuff.
Well, I know hard words he doesn't understand, so I just explain it to him. And he's already reading. Like, he reads chat, unfortunately. Like, he's catching on fast. He's only 6.
You'll be in Universal for Harry Potter. Did you get the like both parks, the pass that lets you go between parks so that you can ride the train?
The Hogwarts Express.
Honestly, if you can only choose one park, do not go to Islands of Adventure and Hogsmeade. Go to regular Universal. If you're going for Harry Potter, go to regular Universal and go to Diagon Alley because it's so much better.
Whoa.
What?
Yeah, that's mostly true.
That's mostly true.
Because you got Green Gots.
Yeah.
You got Green Gots with the fire-breathing dragon. You got Diagon Alley.
They've got the ice cream shop. You remember what it's called?
Block?
No.
No.
Florist and Blatz is the bookshop.
Damn it.
Florian. It's still an F.
Can't fucking remember.
Fortescue.
Fortescue's every flavor.
No, that's Birdie Bot.
Damn it. There's so many things.
¿Por qué no los dos? Well, that's what I'm saying is like you should get both so that you can take the train between.
Yeah, I said diagonally.
Also,
diagonally, just like Harry Potter said diagonally.
yeah. Okay, these. Oh, that's way better. That's way better. That's nice and tough. Okay, I'm liking that. That's good. Okay, we're gonna let that kind of just sit for a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna break into it and see how we did. I really should let them set. I'm not letting them set the way that I should. And like cool off because like cookies kind of get puffy and super soft, and then as they cool they're going to kind of condense and harden a little bit, and so I'm like kind of jumping the gun a little bit here, but I just want to make sure that they're at least close to cooked the way that they need to. Okay, Karen's on her way, so we should probably.
What's WDW?
I don't know.
JD, what's WW? I know it.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
I don't. We're basically done. I can do the white chocolate now if you want me to like just show you guys how to handle white chocolate in a handle chocolate in a microwave. So because the biscotti are so long, I actually use a container that is rectangular. Hey, why not? I think I just bought them this way, but I'm sure that there are a lot of like lunch meat containers and things like that of certain companies I'm not going to talk about that you can like. They're rectangular, you can heat it this, and that way the biscotti kind of go in nice and flat. So I like to do, if you're gonna dip anything that's kind of oblong or long like that, I like to do it in just a container. And I know, I'm heating something up in a microwave in a plastic container, I get it. But also it's just easier, and sometimes I care, and sometimes it's just too much.
Toxins.
Sometimes it's too much. So I'm just gonna break this up. Karen said she's on her way, so she should be here. I don't know when she texted that, though. Okay, so I'm just going to do one bar now, and then I'll just like heat up another bar later. But just so you guys can see like how it works. So I used the double boiler earlier, and now we're gonna do a little bit of work with the microwave. There are two ways to do this in a microwave. You can use the melt chocolate setting, which is what I'm gonna use. But if you don't have a fancy microwave like this, what you're gonna do is you're gonna just put it, if you know how to, I guess there are like 3 ways to do this in a microwave. If you know how to, you can set it at half power, and you're going to put it in the microwave for about 30 to 45 seconds. Just give it a stir. It might be a little glistening around the edges, but it's not really gonna be melting. Give it a stir and then put it back in, and you're going to, every like 15 seconds, you're going to stop it, take it out, and stir it. Stop it, take it out, and stir it. And then what's gonna happen is it'll start melting, and you're gonna have like very small pieces that are still unmelted. When you hit that, where it's like 90% melted and there's just a couple of small pieces that are not, take it out and then just keep mixing it. It will melt. It's kind of like carryover cooking, where you like take a roast out of the oven and then it keeps cooking once it's out of the oven. Chocolate does the same thing. And so what you don't want to do is fully melt the chocolate and then take it out, because sometimes it can the carryover heat can get to such a high temperature that it seizes, and then you don't get that nice shiny coat when it dries or when it cools, I guess. Okay, so I am going to do melted chocolate, and I'm gonna let this go for like a minute before I come back to it. Okay, those are done. That's good. Oh man, yeah, these are what I wanted. This was the recipe. Honestly, I should be taking these out. I should be taking these out like one at a time, which is exactly what I'm gonna do, so that they stay hot in the oven.
Damn.
Get rid of this sucker.
So that just coats it, right?
Yep.
Does it actually soak in at all?
Yes, it does.
Jeez. Sugar coating on the sugar.
Yeah, well. That's a minute. Okay. Pardon moi. You.
So you put it back in the oven so that it
I just want them to stay hot. I honestly
Right.
I don't have to do
probably
that.
doesn't matter.
I don't have to do that. I'm just doing it because why not? Okay, so
See you, Jimmy.
again, like it doesn't really look like it's that melted. I'm gonna use this little guy here. It's like slightly melted, but there's still like a lot of big chunks in here that are not. And I should really do 2 bars, which I will do, but not for right now.
2-bar bourbon.
Okay, so it's not like wholly melted. I've got a minute on my melt chocolate. If you're doing this without that setting, just do 30 seconds, and then after 30 seconds, just every 15 seconds. So I'm gonna do another, like 20 seconds, and then I'm gonna take that out. All right, so here's where I would basically be about done. So it's like 90% melted. I've got a couple little pieces that if I just break up and let sit in that hot chocolate, it's basically done. And then what I would do is just take the biscotti and I would just dip it in that. And that's that. Okay. So that is our cooking stream. Take our biscotti out. They're nice and golden brown. These are going to crisp up nicely. Whee! Sorry, head's in the way. These are done. When you take them out, they're still going to feel soft. But like I said, as they cool, they're going to crisp up. If they're not quite crisp enough for you and you want them to be like hard, like you want to be able to like bang a countertop and they not break, then what you're going to do is instead of letting them cool and dipping them and then sticking them in a storage container once that chocolate is set, you're going to leave them out on the counter for like 24 hours and they will continue to dry out because they're not in an airtight container, and then they'll harden even more. Han, are you listening? Han, are you listening? I'm done. I'm going to stop the stream. We've done basically everything from start to finish. I don't have time to do the chocolate because the cookies are still too hot. So I just showed them how to melt it. Well, it's already 4 o'clock. We went in like a half an hour over.
Right.
So I just figured you'd be ready. Who are we rating? I don't know. You're welcome. It is time for another drink. I'm going to make myself another one of those. I'm super excited. I'm very excited about those. Let's do this one. Also, sorry, hold on a second. Let me turn this.
So it's even.
Yeah, my oven likes to be weird.
Did you try any of those yet? Oh, I see you did.
Yeah, I already. That's why I knew that they were ready.
Didn't offer me.
Now, please, you can have whatever you want.
Give the dish boy something.
Like, you haven't had 4 drinks while I just finished one. You could have made me another drink. Or said, hey, Kari, drink your drink.
True. Hey, Kari.
Why? You can't just use your fingers?
Yeah, because I gotta type shit.
Okay. Stuff.
Mmm.
We went this whole time without cussing. You just threw it in there right at the very end.
Damn it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know who he's going to choose to raid. But we've basically finished all of our baking for today. Our biscotti are out and cooling on the counter so that I can dip them into some white chocolate without it melting even more. We've got our melomakarona here that I am taking kind of out of the oven one at a time, dipping into my honey mixture and setting them aside. Our marshmallows are sitting here nicely, just like chilling and getting ready for me to cut. They're sitting. And then I've got some of our candied pecans, all roasty, toasty, and delicious. We did make a cocktail today as well. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you had all of your questions answered. I hope you had a good time hanging out. I sure did. And if there is anything that you guys want to ask me, or if you want to just get involved, we do have in LEP's Discord, !Discord, we have a channel in there called the International Department of Gluttony. I'm always in there posting pictures of what I'm making for dinner, or if I randomly just decided to do a thing for breakfast or as a snack. And then a lot of other people share if they go out and they have like a nice dinner and they get a really fun dessert or a really nice beer or something like that. We're constantly talking about all of that kind of stuff in there. So if you found any amount of joy and interest in what we did today and you'd like to be involved there, come on over, hang out with us. We're a fun group, I promise. Yay! And I hope you guys have a great night. So yeah.